From the craziest penalty mind games to the most powerful shots in football history, these are the 7 things you didn't know about football. And first, a goalkeeper tried to trick Cristiano Ronaldo only to get embarrassed in front of his own fans. While preparing to take a penalty kick, the Levante goalkeeper tried all sorts of tricks to get into the mind of Cristiano Ronaldo. He stood towards the left side of the goal as if to say, "Go on, I dare you to play on the right." Then when Ronaldo was about to take the spot kick, he moved towards the right twice.
Și probabil încearcă să-l păcălească la marginea careului Ronaldo. Gol! Real Madrid, gol!
But when you try playing mind games with Ronaldo, there's only one way it'll end. Which cannot be said for Lionel Messi, who allowed Thibaut Courtois to play mind games with him. When Messi stood over a penalty kick against Madrid, the PSG fans were expecting a sure goal. After all, it's the great Lionel Messi. But Courtois had other plans. He kept dancing around and pointing to his right. Messi, who didn't want to be told what to do, decided to go the other way, only to get tricked. From that celebration, you could tell he was proud of his antics, unlike Andre Onana, who should consider comedy with his mind games. The preseason friendly between Arsenal and Manchester United went to a mandatory penalty shootout, despite Arsenal winning 2-1 on the night. Andre Onana, who was in the mood for some fun, decided to mess with Arsenal's Fabio Vieira. As the Arsenal player prepared to take his spot kick, Onana moved to his right while pointing to his left. Vieira, who was in no mood for games, sent Onana to the dry cleaners with this spot kick.
What the hell is he doing? Cook him!
But when you thought Onana realized this tactic was ass, he did it again. In the FA Community Shield.
Let's have something really special.
He writes his own rules. 3.
Despite Haaland being the most lethal striker in the Premier League, Onana figured his newly found gimmick would work against him. But Haaland, who must have been wondering what the hell was wrong with Onana, sent him the wrong way once again.
Onana saying, "You want play at that side. That's the way you're going to have to go because I'm standing here."
Erling Haaland against Onana. No problem.
From the look on Haaland's face, you could tell he said, "This guy's a clown."
I did it, so it's unbelievable.
But for Jan Sommer, his antics sent Switzerland to the quarterfinals of Euro 2020. After battling to a 2-2 draw against France in the Euro 2020 round of 16, Switzerland were quietly confident that they would pull off an upset in the penalty shootout. The Swiss scored their spot kicks and everything came down to one last penalty, Mbappe versus Jan Sommer. As Mbappe was running to take his kick, Sommer pointed to his left, urging him to play it there. But Mbappe went the other way, only for the goalkeeper to block his shot expertly. Because of the trick he did, he had to confirm his block was allowed before celebrating, but while Sommer became a national hero, Yassine Bono got embarrassed when he tried doing the same thing. During a match between Arsenal and Sevilla, Arsenal were awarded a penalty kick after a push on Bukayo Saka. As the Arsenal man was gearing up to take it, Sevilla's goalkeeper Yassine Bono was pointing to the side he felt Saka would play the ball. But the keeper didn't put his money where his hand was and ended up getting embarrassed.
Arsenal's first opportunity, and taken by Saka, slotted home calmly into into the bottom corner.
And speaking of embarrassment, Joe Hart messed with the mind of one of the greatest footballers ever. After being called back to the Brazilian national team, Ronaldinho got the chance to score his first goal for the country after many years. But as he was getting ready to take his spot kick, Joe Hart decided to play some mind games by sticking out his tongue and mocking the Brazilian. With Ronaldinho looking confident, everyone expected him to disgrace Hart, only for this to happen.
A reinstated Ronaldinho for Brazil. And Joe Hart saves, Ronaldinho can't force it in. Ronaldinho can't force it in.
At least Hart backed up his mind games with a save, unlike Jordan Pickford, who messed with Havertz and got burnt. During a Premier League match between Chelsea and Everton, Jordan Pickford was so confident he would stop Kai Havertz's penalty. The referee tried stopping his antics, but he told the ref to chill, then did all sorts of gimmicks to try and distract Havertz. After he was done with his clown show, Havertz scored his spot kick and mocked him with his celebration. Damn, that must have hurt Pickford's feelings, but it's nothing compared to a goalkeeper turning into Michael Jackson to save a shot. Just look at what this goalkeeper's doing. He thinks he's on America's Got Talent.
Night after amazing night, millions of Australian jaws will blow.
But blocking a penalty after doing that's gotta be one of the coldest things you'll see on the internet.
What?
But for Julio Cesar, he took his mind games to a different level when he faced Zlatan Ibrahimovic. During a match between Inter and AC Milan, Inter goalkeeper Julio Cesar was pumped up when Ibrahimovic was about to take a penalty kick. He walked up to the big striker and told him, "I know where you're going to play. You're going to play it down the middle." Despite everything he was doing, Ibrahimovic kept a straight face and wasn't moved at all. He stepped up, converted the penalty kick with confidence, and said to Cesar,
Julio Cesar va a prendere posizione, la battuta di Zlatan Ibrahimovic, il pareggio del Milan. 26.
"Speak now, you clown." But even that craziness wasn't even good enough for our top 30, because at number 21, Sergio Ramos played one of the most embarrassing Panenkas you'll ever see. But before we get to that, let's take a look at one of the coldest penalty kicks of the 2022 World Cup. In a match between Saudi Arabia and Argentina, the Saudis gave away a silly penalty.
Check for a penalty kick here. It is penalty.
And the responsibility of converting the kick fell to Messi. As he stepped up to play the ball, the goalkeeper pointed in the direction he wanted Messi to play it, and instead of backing himself up, he dived in the opposite direction and sat like a tired old man.
Lionel Messi. Always center stage.
And when one goalkeeper tries to mess with Messi, you better believe another one's going to do the same thing to Cristiano Ronaldo. In his 100th appearance for Juventus, Cristiano Ronaldo smashed in a penalty kick after a foul on Juan Cuadrado.
It almost ended up at Villa Park. That's how high it went.
11 minutes later, the referee awarded another penalty kick to Juventus. As Ronaldo was about to take it, the goalkeeper, Mattia Perin, said to Ronaldo, "Down the middle again." To try to mess with his head, Ronaldo, who was in no mood for tricks, hit a powerful shot to the right side, sending Perin in the opposite direction. He then asked, "Where are you going, Perin?" But at number 28, what Ochoa did to Lewandowski made a beautiful girl cry. For those unfamiliar with this man's game, he literally disappears for 4 years, and then when it's time for the FIFA World Cup, he turns into the best goalkeeper in the world. During a match between Poland and Mexico, the Polish were awarded a penalty kick after a foul on Robert Lewandowski. With the hopes of millions of Mexicans on his shoulders, Ochoa knew he had to do everything possible to stop that kick. So when Lewandowski came to shoot, he pretended to be diving to the right, only to switch to the left at the last second and block the shot.
Robert contra François. Sobresaliente, ahí está Ochoa, atacando abajo, contra la izquierda, tirándose contra el palo zurdo y termina sacando la pelota contra Robert Lewandowski. Ochoa encaramando su historia dentro de Copas del Mundo.
And with the way that lady wanted to cry, you know how much that save meant to the fans, which cannot be said for Kepa, whose mind game cost his team a trophy. In the 2019 Carabao Cup final, Chelsea battled bravely to deny Man City any goal-scoring chances. With a few minutes left until penalty shootouts, the Chelsea coach decided to change Kepa and bring on a more experienced penalty stopper. But in a bizarre turn of events, Kepa defied his coach's instructions and refused to come off. During the shootout, Sergio Aguero stepped up to take his spot kick, but as he was preparing, Kepa kept trash-talking him, trying to get in his head. And the tactic worked perfectly, as the Man City striker made a tame effort towards the right, only for Kepa to fail miserably at stopping one of the worst spot kicks ever. Even Aguero couldn't believe it had gone in. But this wasn't the only time Kepa's mind games failed, because against Liverpool, his gimmick was even more embarrassing. During another Carabao Cup final shootout between Liverpool and Chelsea, Kepa thought standing on one side of the post would confuse Van Dijk on which spot to play his penalty. But the Dutchman called his bluff by playing it at the exact place Kepa was standing.
Elegant centre-half, Virgil van Dijk to take the next. And Van Dijk left nothing to chance.
Well, for a game that was 0-0 after 2 hours of football.
How wise of him to leave so much space on either side of the goal. But at number 25, Ederson's mind games failed miserably against Bukayo Saka. In a match between Man City and Arsenal, Man City goalkeeper Ederson showed Saka the side he wanted him to play the spot kick. To the surprise of many, he obliged and played it at the same place the goalkeeper pointed. Seems mind games aren't Ederson's strong point, unlike Szczesny, who messed with Messi's head. In the 2022 World Cup match between Poland and Argentina, the referee gave a controversial penalty kick to the Argentines, which upset the Polish players. But their goalkeeper Szczesny told his teammates, "Chill guys, it's Messi, I've got this." And despite Messi putting his game face on, Szczesny pulled off a magnificent save to back up his arrogance.
No, I didn't. We spoke before the penalty. I told him I can bet him €100 that he wasn't going to give it. So I've lost the bet against Messi. I don't know if that's allowed at the World Cup. I'm probably going to get banned for it. I don't care right now.
So you bet it?
Pay him either.
You're not going to pay him 100?
No, he doesn't care about €100. Come on.
He has enough.
Yeah, I think so.
And speaking of arrogance, Joe Hart got humbled after trying silly mind games. During the penalty shootout between England and Italy at Euro 2012, England's goalkeeper Joe Hart was pretty confident he could come out on top against his opponents. So, when Andrea Pirlo stepped up to take his spot kick, Joe Hart tried to mock him by sticking his tongue out. But as Pirlo took his kick, his overinflated ego was deflated as the ball nestled in the net.
But he knows that really
si muoveva molto, faceva dei gesti strani.
And he misses, his country will be in trouble. Jiggling up and down on the line. This is Pirlo. Oh, how cheeky is that? The float.
Now that's how you shut a lousy opponent up. But at number 22, Emi Martinez was so confident he double-dared Cristiano Ronaldo. After returning to Manchester United for a second time, everyone expected Ronaldo to be the club's penalty taker. So it wasn't surprising that he tried taking a penalty kick against Aston Villa. Seeing that Bruno insisted on taking it, Emi Martinez kept daring Ronaldo to take the penalty.
I did say we would see who would be taking the penalty for Manchester United, whether Fernandes or Cristiano Ronaldo.
But being a master of mind games himself, he let Bruno do the honors. But the Portuguese embarrassed Ronaldo by sending the ball into orbit.
Puts it into orbit. Mission abort. Repeat. Mission abort.
And if you think this spot kick is embarrassing, wait till you see the double blunder by Sergio Ramos. Something crazy happened in a UEFA Champions League match between Switzerland and Spain. The Spaniards desperately needed a goal, and that opportunity came when they were given a penalty. Sergio Ramos, who'd scored his last 25 penalties in a row, stepped up to take it and missed.
At the moment, the milestone maker for Spain is denied by...
Then when they got a second penalty kick, everyone was confident he would dispatch it.
To the last 15 years since his Spain debut, the European record holder this time. And
after studying Ramos's kicks, Sommer knew exactly what the Spanish defender wanted to do. So he pretended he was going to dive and then paused at the last second to stop one of the most disgraceful Panencas you'll ever see. But even that smart thinking by Sommer didn't make our top 20. Wait till you see the goalkeeper who hurt himself trying to stop Ronaldo's shot. But before we get there, let's look at a player who snitched on his countrymen to help his club. During a Champions League match between Barcelona and Man City, Piqué and Mascherano gave away a penalty after committing a silly foul in the box. Seeing his international teammate, Aguero, was about to take the spot kick, Mascherano pointed in the direction he would shoot. Ter Stegen followed his advice and blocked the spot kick. Still, celebrating like that after snitching on your countrymen is wild, but not as crazy as a mind game that made Ronaldo cry on the pitch. In the 2008 Champions League final between Chelsea and Manchester United, Chelsea were on the hunt for their first ever Champions League trophy, while Manchester United were hoping to make it their third. As a result, the two teams battled hard right till penalty shootouts.
And if they're still level after that,
although Cristiano Ronaldo missed his spot kick, John Terry failed to capitalize on the miss to win the match.
To give them the trophy.
oh, he's missed it! He's missed it!
With everything down to one last penalty, Van der Sar saw Anelka and started clapping his gloves. He pointed to his left, showing Anelka where to play the ball. And then this happened.
Didn't look happy coming forward, Anelka, and he's not happy now because it's red in Russia. This English night in Europe is Manchester United's night. Best.
The save was so insane that Ronaldo just burst into tears. But at number 18, Paul Pogba made a goalkeeper fall asleep. It happened in an under-20 World Cup match between France and Uruguay. Instead of running to play his spot kick like other players, Paul Pogba did the opposite by jogging slowly.
Stone with a nonchalant run up, which he looks like he's doing again here. Diamores waits. Pogba strikes it into the bottom corner.
It took so long to get to the ball, the goalkeeper almost fell asleep. By the time he played it, the goalkeeper had given up already. Wow. While at number 17, a goalkeeper tried messing with a player who didn't understand a word he was saying. In a match between Argentina and the Netherlands, the Argentine national team rushed into an early lead to put one foot in the semifinal of the World Cup. Deep into the second half, the ref gave the Argentines a penalty. The responsibility fell to Lionel Messi, but just as he was getting ready to take it, the Dutch goalkeeper went over to him and whispered something into his ear. Messi nodded like he understood, but in reality, he had no idea what the goalkeeper was saying. So he ran up and dispatched his spot kick with confidence.
Against the Dutch giant. It's Messi. It's two.
It's his tournament. Is it written in the stars? England will hope not. But this little man is irresistible.
Trash talk only works when the opponent understands you. But for Jerry Mina, Emi Martinez's words completely destroyed his confidence. After a hotly contested match between Colombia and Argentina resulted in penalties, Argentine goalkeeper Martinez was in the mood for some games. His first victim was Jerry Mina. As soon as the defender picked up the ball, he said in Spanish, "You're nervous, huh? You're laughing, but you're nervous. Yeah, you're nervous. You're nervous. Hey, the ball's ahead. Yeah. Turn a blind eye. I already know you. Hey, look, see how I know where you'll shoot? And then I'll save it. Then, I'm eating you up, brother. I'm eating you up, brother." Just before Mina kicked the ball. Damn, I don't know who talks the most, Martinez or my girl when she's angry. But at number 15, Kylian Mbappe turned into a fortune teller. In a French league match between PSG and Saint-Etienne, the Parisians conceded a penalty, much to the anger of their fans. Seeing their upset fans, Mbappe decided to make it up to them by doing something crazy. Just as Remy Cabella was about to take the spot kick, Mbappe showed his goalkeeper the direction he would play it. The keeper followed his advice and expertly blocked the shot.
And the stand shot for Guichard. Cabella steps up, and Areola saves it. Kylian Mbappe just telling Areola which
I guess we can add fortune telling to Mbappe's many skills, which could also be said for Pepe, who got angry when his goalkeeper refused to follow his advice. The Euros match between Portugal and France started badly for the Portuguese after conceding an early penalty. But when Karim Benzema stood over the ball, his former teammate Pepe knew exactly where he would play it. He pointed the spot to his goalkeeper, who, for whatever reason, did the exact opposite. We get you, Pepe. That was pretty annoying. And even Ronaldo wasn't impressed. Speaking of Ronaldo, a goalkeeper tried trash-talking him and got sent to the hospital. In a league match between Real Madrid and Malaga, the Los Blancos were given a penalty, and as expected, Cristiano Ronaldo stepped up to take it. But as he was waiting for the referee's whistle, the Malaga goalkeeper kept talking trash. Then when the ref gave the go-ahead, this happened. When you talk the talk, you should be able to walk the walk. See what I did? Never mind. But at number 12, Alex Telles was humiliated by a goalkeeper's trickery. It happened in a Portuguese league match between FC Porto and Marítimo. The opposition player tried reminding Telles he was a big player while begging him to chip him.
Vai ter nos pés a possibilidade de marcar. Autoriza o árbitro Rui Costa. Bate Alex Telles, defende. Amir, grande defesa do iraniano. Foi bem marcado.
But Telles missed the opportunity to do the most insane thing ever. Or maybe he didn't believe he was a big player.
What the hell?
But for the goalkeeper at number 11, his mind game sent Australia to the 2022 World Cup. In 2022, Australia faced Peru back in a match that would decide which team would go to the World Cup. Stakes were high, and you could feel the tension around the stadium. The two teams battled hard, but it all came down to penalty shootouts to decide the winner. After his teammates scored their penalties, Aussie goalkeeper Andrew Redmayne knew he needed to pull off a save however he could. So when the Peru player stepped up to take the deciding penalty, he did this.
It's all on this for Peru. Alex Valera.
Damn. The Peru player thought he lost it or something, because what was that dance? Who cares? He sent his country to the 2022 World Cup. But even those funny heroics didn't crack our top 10. From here on out, we'll show you the most insane penalty mind games in football, starting with Neymar's failed attempt at trash talk. After conceding a penalty in their Champions League match against RB Leipzig, PSG's Neymar tried to help his goalkeeper by playing mind games. His antics failed badly, as Szoboszlai smashed the ball into the left corner of the post.
For 2-2, right at the end in Leipzig. And he does it!
After the game, the Leipzig player revealed what Neymar said.
What did Neymar say to you?
He was asking me, you gonna score? I say yes. Yeah, he said to me, are you sure? I say yes, I never miss.
Either Neymar's just a nice guy or he's terrible at trash talking. Because at number 9, he had another funny episode with a goalkeeper. As Neymar was about to take this penalty, he asked the goalkeeper which spot he wanted him to play the ball. The goalkeeper, who thought Neymar was messing with him, jokingly pointed to his right.
Ah là, vous avez vu le geste de désolation de Lucas Pira.
But at the last second, the goalkeeper opted not to dive, making it a fairly easy penalty for Neymar. But at number 8, a player betrayed his best friend to win a penalty shootout. Back at Chelsea, Antonio Rudiger and Mateo Kovacic were good friends, with Rudiger revealing the extent of their friendship in an interview.
My best friend in football is Mateo Kovacic. Yes.
But their friendship turned into rivalry when they met in a Champions League match between Real Madrid and Man City. After battling to a 1-1 draw at Etihad Stadium, the winner of the match was to be decided in a penalty shootout. So as Kovacic stepped up to take his penalty kick, Rudiger pointed the direction his friend would shoot. The goalkeeper listened and saved the penalty kick.
Deegan now faced. He saved it! Kovacic denied.
And to make matters worse, Rudiger scored the last spot kick that knocked his friend and Man City out of the Champions League. Betraying friendship is one thing, but making a fool out of David Beckham? You don't see that every day. In the Euro 2004 match between England and Portugal, a tightly contested affair came down to penalties to decide the winner. First up for England was their talisman, David Beckham. But as the midfielder prepared to take his spot kick, Portuguese goalkeeper Ricardo kept playing mind games to distract him. These antics proved too hot for Beckham to handle as he skied his penalty.
Over the bar, Beckham looks to the spot, but it's the first miss of the shootout.
But that wasn't the craziest thing to happen in that shootout. Ricardo took off his gloves and saved a penalty, then scored the last spot kick that won Portugal the match.
What a story this will be! The goalkeeper saved and scored and won the game!
But this wasn't the only time a goalkeeper saved and scored a penalty. After an entertaining 2-2 draw between AS Roma and Man City, the winner of the tie was to be decided by penalty shootout. Seeing that his teammates were missing spot kicks, Man City's goalkeeper Joe Hart asked his coach if he could take one himself. The coach agreed, and he smashed it in with confidence.
Joe Hart, bang! Maybe first on the list from now on as he looks towards his manager.
But when it was Keita's turn to take his penalty, Hart started laughing at him, trying to mess with his confidence. Keita smiled back like he wasn't disturbed, only for this to happen.
Keita, Joe Hart didn't know!
And with that, we've made it to our top 5. Go top off your popcorn, because things are about to get real crazy. Starting with a goalkeeper who messed with Benzema not once, but twice in one game. In the 2021-2022 season, Karim Benzema was in red-hot form as he hunted down the Ballon d'Or. But in a match against Osasuna, he came up against an opponent for whom he had no answers. In the 51st minute of the game, Benzema stepped up to take a penalty kick. The goalkeeper pointed to one direction only to dive to the other side and stop the shot.
Osasuna stay just one goal behind. Up steps Benzema, and
Everyone expected a goal, but the goalkeeper did it again. This craziness meant Benzema became the first player to miss 2 penalties in a La Liga match since 2006.
Behind Real Madrid.
2 years, right?
Up steps Benzema, saved it.
And he saves it again.
So Osasuna stay just one goal behind Real Madrid.
2 years, right?
But at number 4, a player invented a new penalty style just to fool the goalkeeper. Just watch this.
The act to give Brisbane the lead again.
I've seen Pirlo's Panenka, but I don't know if this is a failed attempt at one or if he's just created a new style. Still, it's nothing compared to the insane spot kick at number 3. As this player made his run up to take the penalty, everyone expected him to blast the ball into a corner. Instead, he completely deceived the goalkeeper by kicking it with his other leg. But while this player messed with the keeper's confidence, Mo Salah mocked his teammate in front of thousands of fans. The 2021 AFCON final between Egypt and Senegal was supposed to be insane. Mane versus Salah, 2 African giants going head-to-head. 5 minutes into the match, Egypt conceded a penalty. As Sadio Mane prepared to take his spot kick, his Liverpool teammate, Mo Salah, walked up to his goalkeeper and told him where Mane would play it. Upset by that, Mane also tried to mess with the keeper by pointing in the same direction.
Able to pass on some inside information to Abu Gabal about the penalty take. A much bigger penalty now, and it is Senegal who missed the opportunity, and a wonderful save from Abu Gabal.
But the Egyptian keeper was already locked in. But Mane wasn't about to let his teammate get one over on him, so when the match went to a penalty shootout, he stepped up and blasted in the last spot kick that won Senegal the trophy.
Salah can't bear to watch. Mane! Senegal are African champions!
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. A penalty mind game so insane,
Hey, yo, what the?
FIFA had to ban it for life. When Neymar was still playing in the Brazilian league, he was a joy to watch. He used his skills, flicks, and tricks to dazzle millions of fans nationwide.
Neymar.
And in that time, Neymar hacked a style of penalty that was just unstoppable. No matter what the goalkeepers did, they couldn't stop him. It was like his style had a psychological impact on them. After scoring 5 straight penalties with that style, the videos went viral and caught the attention of the big guys at FIFA. And after reviewing it, they labeled it unsporting, citing that it gave an unfair advantage to the kicker because of the delayed reaction time for goalkeepers. So they put it to a vote and unanimously banned it. Still, getting FIFA to ban a skill might be cool and all, but wait till you see a guy who dented the post with one shot. I'm talking about the most powerful shots in football. First, a rocket by Cristiano Ronaldo that almost gave an old man a heart attack. Heading into the second leg of their Champions League match against Man United, the Arsenal players were quietly confident of turning the tie around after losing the first leg 1-0. But after conceding early to a Park Ji-sung goal, the frustration started creeping in. After giving away a silly foul close to the halfway line, the Gunners were sure Ronaldo wouldn't shoot from that far out. Even the commentator thought it was too far away.
It's 35 yards and more. Too far for Ronaldo to think about it.
So when the ref blew the whistle, Ronaldo did this.
Too far for Ronaldo to think about it. Oh! Absolutely sensational!
That shot was so powerful, it made an Arsenal fan rethink her life choices. But at 24, Zlatan Ibrahimovic unleashed a missile so fast, the rival fans gave him an ovation. In the Champions League match between Anderlecht and PSG, Zlatan Ibrahimovic was a man on fire.
Into the centre. With his ball at his feet into Ibrahimovic.
He scored 2 quick goals to put PSG comfortably ahead. But when the Anderlecht defenders thought they had him under control, this happened.
Trying to attack down the left-hand side. Strike from Ibrahimovic. Oh, what a goal!
With the ball traveling at 150 kilometers an hour, that shot was way faster than my Toyota Corolla when I was rushing to my girl's house. No wonder the Anderlecht fans gave him a standing O. But even this is nothing compared to the thunderbolt that won the 2019 Premier League Goal of the Year. The Etihad Stadium, Man City's home, is one of the most formidable places for any team to visit. Most teams spend the whole game in their own half, so the chances of scoring are pretty slim. But on this day, Andros Towson and his Crystal Palace teammates had other plans. With the game tied at 1, a clearance fell kindly to Townsend, who without thinking twice did this.
On hold to send a real teaser in there. Steely had to be dealt with and was by Stones. Andros Townsend! A flash of brilliance!
That ball was hit so perfectly, the goalkeeper was more or less a spectator. Even Townsend himself couldn't believe he scored that. Palace won the game 3-2, the only reason City didn't do the invincible. But the shot at number 22 turned Ter Stegen into the Statue of Liberty. During the 2017 Spanish Super Cup, Barcelona dreamed of staging a comeback against Madrid. But with the Catalans losing 3-1 in the first leg, they knew it would be a difficult task. But just 4 minutes into the game, Marco Asensio destroyed their hopes with this strike.
Any circumstances, Modric with the attempted finisher.
Awesome. Look at that! This boy knows no bounds. No danger, they backed off him.
That shot was so powerful, it made Ter Stegen look like a statue. Or maybe he's just ass. But it wasn't as crazy as number 21, where a shot almost got a player arrested for war crimes. On October 3rd, 2023, Real Madrid traveled to Italy to face Napoli, a team that won the league with 5 games to spare. Led by the prolific Victor Osimhen, everyone expected the Italians to be a tough out. This prediction seemed accurate when just after 19 minutes, Napoli took the lead. Madrid responded through Vinny Jr. and took the lead via Jude Bellingham. But as the second half resumed, Napoli equalized via penalty. With the game tilting towards a draw, Valverde took matters into his own hands and did this. Damn. You could swear he has a rocket launcher strapped to that leg. His shot was so powerful it nearly bent the crossbar. But even this couldn't break into our top 20 because there's no way a human could do what Ronaldo did at our number 14 pick. But before we get to that, let's look at a shot so powerful, 2 goalkeepers won't be able to stop it. Back in 2011, Sir Alex was still manager of Manchester United, and their players were capable of the extraordinary. So when they came up against Chelsea, Nani did this.
Away from Mata, still Nani. Nani! Oh, brilliant! You can watch it again and again and again. Utterly outstanding from Nani.
Damn. He hit that ball with so much venom, the net could sue him for abuse. But as crazy as this strike might have been, it's nothing compared to what Ronaldo did at number 19. After an underwhelming first leg draw with FC Porto, Manchester United were at risk of getting eliminated because Porto had scored 2 away goals. With the club's fate on the line, everyone's hopes rested on the shoulders of their superstar, Cristiano Ronaldo. Just 6 minutes into the game, Ronaldo got a pass 45 yards away from the goal, and he said to himself, "F it, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo." The confidence to think about it, the audacity to try it, and the power generated from that distance earned this goal a deserved Puskas Award. To think Rio Ferdinand was screaming at him not to take the shot.
EQ it here and let it play. And the ball comes into him here, he gets his head down. At that moment there, I'll never forget it. I tell my kids about this all the time. I was screaming here, no. No. Like, pass it, like.
And when he hit it?
Then when he hit it, it was like, wow, I'll show you the facials in a minute.
We would have been robbed of this masterpiece if you listened. But hey, everybody, shh, quiet down. At number 18, a crazy shot that ruined Juventus' title celebrations. Having been crowned Serie A champions in 2019, Juventus came into the match against Inter with the celebrations already kickstarted. But unknown to them, Raja Nainggolan had already been planning to spoil the party. Before the game, he told reporters he wanted to score against Juventus. So 7 minutes into the match, a headed pass fell into his path, and he did this. Damn, this guy might be the biggest hater ever. But at number 17, a shot that traveled so fast, it would break the traffic laws in every country.
One superb goal that made the difference, and that changed the game.
In 2007, Newcastle United were experiencing a mini revival after being poor throughout that season. So when they came up against Tottenham, no one could have predicted how the game would go. 70 minutes in, Newcastle were losing 2-1, and it seemed the demons of the past were coming back to haunt them. That's when Obafemi Martins decided to turn into an assassin. He collected a pass, played a 1-2 game with his teammate, and unleashed this bullet.
Martins คีรอนไดเออร์นะครับช่วย3คนครับนิวคาสเซิลข้างหน้ามีตัวที่4ขึ้นมายิงโอ้โหลูกนี้สุดยอดครับท่านผู้ชมซัดไปดื้อๆเลยครับโอบาเฟมิมาร์ตินส์
The force on that shot, it's enough to power an entire neighborhood. But at number 16, an insane shot that almost tore the roof off the net. During a Premier League match between Blackburn Rovers and Southampton, both teams had cancelled each other out and were seemingly content with a draw. But Blackburn midfielder Kieran Tuguay wasn't cut out for such a loser mentality. So when the ball was laid on a plate for him, he fired this missile. The way that goalkeeper looked confused, you could tell he knew that shot was unstoppable. But even this is not as powerful as the goal that knocked Manchester United out of the Champions League. When Manchester United faced AS Monaco in the 1998 Champions League quarterfinals, the team with stars like David Beckham and Andy Cole were quietly confident of progressing. After a boring 0-0 first leg, everything came down to the return leg at Old Trafford. But just 5 minutes into the game, David Trezeguet put Monaco ahead with this ferocious shot. Hitting such a rocket that close to the goalkeeper, I'm surprised the net didn't rip open. Although Man United later tied the game at 1, that shot knocked them out on away goals. But at number 14, Cristiano Ronaldo took a shot so insane, it almost turned him into a stripper. In a match between Real Madrid and Osasuna, Cristiano Ronaldo got the ball a long distance from the goal. With the Osasuna defenders backing off, he decided to do what Ronaldo does best.
Ronaldo, they'll back away from him again and he shoots. Oh, it's gone in! A second goal, a thunderbolt from Ronaldo.
Look at the reaction from his teammates. They couldn't believe what they'd just seen. Even the players on the bench couldn't help but be in awe. But the missile that comes in at number 13 won Barcelona their first ever European Cup. During the 1991-92 European Cup final, Barcelona came up against a stubborn Sampdoria with the hopes of winning their first European trophy. But as the game progressed, Barca found Sampdoria a tough nut to crack. After a sorry 0-0 in normal time, it headed into extra time with the possibility of going to penalties. 6 minutes into the second half of extra time, Barcelona won a free kick close to the 18-yard box. With the entire game coming down to this one last chance, Ronald Koeman did this. Before the goalkeeper could dive, the ball passed him in a flash. With a powerful shot like that, it's no wonder he scored 250 goals as a defender. While Koeman's shot was laid for him, Alan Shearer unleashed his rocket all by himself. In 1997, Newcastle United faced a stubborn Leicester City team desperate to prove a point. Newcastle took an early lead, but Leicester found a way to equalize. Annoyed by this defiance, Alan Shearer decided enough was enough. So when his team got a free kick at the edge of the box, he did this. I mean, listen to that sound. The net was literally begging for help, let alone this goalkeeper who didn't see the ball pass him. But as impressive as this was, it's nothing compared to a shot that defied the laws of physics. In a match between Brazil and France, the Brazilians got a free kick 40 yards away from the French goal. Because of the distance, the French wall stood very far from the ball, a decision they quickly regretted.
20-yard run up.
You could rewatch this free kick 50 times, you'd still be in shock at how he pulled it off. The goalkeeper was sure the ball was going out, only to see it fly into his net. I bet if Einstein were alive today, he'd have a hard time explaining that. But even this madness didn't crack the top 10, because from here on out, it's going to be the most powerful shots ever, starting with an Adriano rocket that bent the goalpost. If you played PES around the mid-2000s, then you know Adriano was a cheat code. This dude had a 99 shot power rating, and boy, it was not an exaggeration. In his debut for Inter against Madrid, Inter won a free kick right at the edge of the box. Adriano asked Seedorf to allow him to take the free kick. Considering he was new to the team, this was a big ask, but Seedorf obliged. There was a bit of commotion in the wall, but Adriano was focused, so when the referee blew the whistle, he did this. Damn, he shot it at the exact spot Casillas was standing, but before the goalkeeper could even move, the net behind him was almost ripped open. But at number 9 is another Brazilian with a shot so crazy powerful, he was nicknamed the Incredible Hulk. In a Brazilian league match between Atlético Mineiro and Santos, the Santos players knew they messed up when they conceded a free kick close to the box. And when you watch this, you'll understand why they were worried. The force with which that ball hit the frame of the goal. I mean, imagine if that was someone's face. But that wasn't the only time the Hulk displayed his powerful shot. During a match between bitter rivals FC Porto and Benfica, Hulk was being abused by the Benfica fans. So after a poor clearance by the Benfica players found its way to him, he did this. That shot was so powerful, the keeper was smart to get out of the way. That's how you shut rival fans up, by the way. But at number 7 is an absolute rocket that you might miss if you blink. In a 1996 Premier League match between Arsenal and Sheffield Wednesday, the Gunners came under intense attack by the Wednesday players. After a badly cleared corner kick, the ball fell kindly for David Hurst, who rifled his shot against the crossbar.
Better part of an hour. Pressure not cleared. Oh, what a let-up for Arsenal, David Hurst.
The ball was hit with so much power, you might miss it if it's not slowed down. I mean, damn, I do not envy those goalposts at all. But the bullet that comes in at number 6 was voted the best goal of the 2006-2007 Premier League season. After a poorly cleared corner by Aston Villa, the loose ball fell into the path of Paul Scholes, who absolutely blasted it home.
Throttle in the second half. Headed out by McCann. How?
That commentator is all of us right now. And with that banger, we've made it to our top 5. Fasten your seatbelts, get your popcorn ready, because things are about to get explosive. Starting with a last-minute rocket that won Liverpool the FA Cup. When Liverpool faced West Ham in the 2006 FA Cup final, everyone expected the Reds to make light work of the Hammers. But after 2 unfortunate own goals, Liverpool were trailing 3-2 to West Ham with just a few seconds of the game left. With their hearts about to be broken, Liverpool made one last push to try and get an equalizer. Then this happened.
Atuisa tossed it towards Morientes. And then Giroud! Oh!
From how he struck the ball, it was either he scored the goal or sent the ball into space. What an iconic moment from one of the best midfielders of his generation. Liverpool won the resulting shootout, and the game was renamed the Gerrard Final. But at number 4, a player hit the ball so hard it was clocked at 170 kilometers an hour. It happened in a match between PSV and ADO Den Haag in the Dutch league. The PSV players were on the hunt for a third goal, so a pass was played into the path of Ibrahim Sangare, and he did this.
Langs bij Rodriguez. Sangare!
Damn, the ball went flying like a bullet out of a gun. Even the PSV coach couldn't believe what he'd just seen. Even this is nothing compared to Tony Yeboah's shot at number 3. During a match between Leeds and Wimbledon, Ghana's Tony Yeboah picked up a loose ball in the Wimbledon half, danced around a defender, and did the unthinkable.
Yeboah. On he goes! Even by his standards.
We feel your pain, goalkeeper. We feel your pain. But at number 2, Arjen Robben fired an unstoppable shot, clocked at 190 kilometers an hour.
Ich muss einfach sagen, ich bin nur dankbar. Sehr, sehr dankbar.
Jetzt macht sein Tor!
Und die will selber machen! Und macht die!
Robben! Ein unfassbares Tor!
Robben! Robben! Robben!
In his career, Arjen Robben was famous for cutting to his left and curling the ball into the net. But despite being a master of finesse, Robben packed a dynamite of a left foot. If you think I'm exaggerating, just watch this.
A Pepe, saca el córner Kaká. Ha despejado Momoyela y golazo de Robben. ¡Qué golazo de Robben, señores, a la salida del área! Vaya.
He hit that ball so true it would pass a lie detector test. See what I did there?
What?
Never mind. But even Dortmund manager Jurgen Klopp was impressed with that shot. And speaking of shots, it's time for the most powerful shot in football history. In a Portuguese league match between Sporting CP and Naval, the Naval players gave away a silly free kick at the edge of their box. But as they tried to arrange a wall, the goalkeeper was absolutely terrified. To understand why, you gotta watch this.
2 minuten voor tijd staat het nog altijd 0-0 bij Naval tegen Sporting Club de Portugal. Maar invaller
Ronnie Heberson hit that ball with so much power, the keeper's fingers could have been destroyed if he touched it. That goalie dodged almost a literal bullet. And at 210 kilometers an hour, it is the most powerful shot ever recorded. But for a footballer, 1 minute you're hitting the most powerful shot in football, and the next, you're running for your life. Let's see what happened in the craziest moments in football. And at number 20, in Manchester United's match against Aston Villa, Cristiano Ronaldo showed Tyrone Mings why he's called a GOAT.
We'll try the Cash. Garnacho's quick, and he wins a corner off Matty Cash. Now then, in the middle there was a real skirmish going on. Garnacho's quick.
If he wanted Ronaldo's shirt that badly, he could have just asked nicely. But at number 19, Manchester United went from being the best club in the world to the biggest joke in the country. During the Sir Alex Ferguson era, Manchester United was arguably the biggest football club in the world. Their iconic stadium, Old Trafford, witnessed the Red Devils deliver trophy after trophy. But since the legendary manager retired, the club's performance has sharply declined. But no one knew how bad things were until this happened. To think this is the stadium of a club worth over $6 billion. Cristiano Ronaldo was right when he said this.
Nothing changed. Surprisingly, not only the pool, the jacuzzi, even the gym. Even some points, the technology, the kitchen, the chefs, which is I appreciate, lovely. They stop in a time which is it surprised me a lot. I thought I will see different things, different, as I mentioned before, technology, infrastructure. But unfortunately, we see many things that I'm used to see when I was 20, 21, 23. So surprised me a lot.
While the Man United fans were getting soaked by rain, Lille fans had to face something far more scary. In the local derby between Amiens and Lille in France, the Amiens players were eager to give their fans something to cheer about. But just 15 minutes into the match, Lille silenced the crowd by scoring the first goal. While trying to celebrate with their fans, this happened. The switch from excitement to fighting for their lives must have been a nightmare. Eventually, the match was abandoned as over 25 Lille fans were injured and 4 badly hurt. Thankfully, no one died. This wasn't the first time something like this happened. 16 minutes into the match between Vitesse and NEC Nijmegen, the Vitesse players were celebrating with their fans after scoring the game's first goal. But as they bounced up and down, the stadium decided to join in the action. After that scary moment, they didn't care and just kept celebrating. When it comes to winning, you can't predict how any group of fans will behave, just like the Malmö fans did. During the 2020-2021 Swedish League, the title race between Malmö and AIK went down to the last day of the season. The fans knew a win or draw was enough for them to be crowned champions. So this happened when the final whistle was blown. Seeing that passion from the fans is really heartwarming, but not all passionate fans mean well, because for Saint Etienne players, their fans almost took their lives. Saint Etienne is undoubtedly one of the biggest clubs in France. With 10 league titles, they've earned the right to be among the French elite clubs. But in 2022, things went bad for them as they battled relegation. So when the referee blew the whistle to confirm their demotion to the second division, the fans did this. I've seen a lot of lows, but throwing flares at your players? That's the lowest it gets. But seeing two coaches fight on a football field? Well, that's the type of content football fans sign up for. During the Chelsea-Tottenham London Derby of 2022, referee Anthony Taylor was under pressure after a lot of bad calls. But while the referee was battling his demons on the field, the two opposing managers had a mini battle on the touchline. It all started when Tottenham scored a goal after an alleged foul on Kai Havertz.
This was the incident. Well, it was the flick up there that maybe there was a handball. Offside against Richarlison in the way of the
Unhappy about that decision, Thomas Tuchel didn't take kindly to Conte's celebration.
Tottenham do have their equaliser. They've been better since the substitution.
But just when Chelsea thought they'd won the intense match, Kane broke their hearts by scoring a last-minute equaliser.
And it comes, and it's headed in for 2-2.
Then, after the ref blew the final whistle, this happened.
Finished. Direction. It's only just started. In terms of
While some managers get angry after a disappointing result, some just run to their sugar daddies for more money. Following a disappointing Champions League loss to Tottenham, a rare video shows Pep Guardiola rushing to request more money from Sheikh Mansour, Man City's owner.
That's a very bad idea.
After getting a big paycheck, the coach was confident they would do better next season.
Don't worry, like our club is just money, we're going to spend a lot of money next season as well. So maybe 1 billion or something like that. Don't worry.
But things didn't go according to plan as the club from Manchester was knocked out again by Lyon. So when Pep returned to meet the Sheikh, it was no surprise he was not happy to see him. But while most of you might doubt this story actually happened, nothing is questionable about this disaster in the US.
The soccer field is caught on video. Look at this. Oh my goodness. There goes the light. A giant hole suddenly opens up in the middle of the field in Alton, Illinois. Luckily, no kids were playing on the field at the time. Apparently, it was built on top.
Now imagine this happening during a live football match. Unfortunately, something similar did happen in Austria. During a match between Austria and Denmark, a sinkhole suddenly appeared in the middle of the pitch. It was so big, the Denmark player tried fitting into it. Thankfully, the players were already on their way to the tunnel. A hole in the middle of a professional stadium like that is insane, but not as crazy as a man trying to put a hole in a referee's head. Imagine a match between rivals PAOK and AEK Athens. The PAOK players thought they'd scored a last-minute winner. But after a VAR check, the referee canceled the goal and the score remained tied. Upset about that, the PAOK owner and his bodyguards stormed the pitch to confront the referee. But that wasn't the main issue. The upset president had a gun on his waist and was angrily walking toward the ref. Seeing the incoming threat, one of the PAOK players whispered to the ref to run. After this madness, the entire Greek league had to be suspended to avoid being banned entirely by FIFA. But even this crazy episode didn't crack our top 10. Coming in at number 1, we finally break the myth about Messi's humility. Before that, let's look at Antoine Griezmann's crazy celebration. During a match between Real Sociedad and Deportivo La Coruna, Antoine Griezmann scored a wonderful header to double his team's advantage. But instead of going to celebrate with the fans, he did this. While Griezmann only sat in the car to celebrate, some players in the Polish league took things a notch crazier. After scoring a goal against their reserve team in a friendly, the players of KC Cracovia disappeared into the tunnel, only to return like this. Now that's one crazy way to celebrate a goal. But not every car you see on the pitch is there to celebrate, because cars on pitches spell bad news in South Africa. Upset about the referee's decision, a fan drove straight onto the pitch to show how frustrated he was. This is wild. Maybe he was trying to celebrate his version of car football? Fans are unpredictable these days. Just like this guy who decided to land his parachute in the middle of a football game. When you misbehave like that, the referee has no choice but to send you off. Amazingly, this wasn't the only time something like this happened. A few months before the kickoff of the Euro 2020 match between Germany and France, fans noticed a parachute gliding into the stadium. At first, it looked like a stunt to bring the match ball in. But this was nothing like that. It was a member of the Greenpeace protesters who ended up crashing into the green hard. See what I did? Never mind. Antonio Rudiger ran over to check if he was okay, but this failed attempt by the protester caused a lot of injuries to fans in the stadium. Now, I don't care what message he was trying to pass along, doing stuff like this should instantly get you locked up. With that, we're at our top 5. From here on, we're only including the most insane moments in football history, starting with the most infamous incident in World Cup history. The 2006 final saw 2 of the greatest national teams compete. France's dazzling attack included Thierry Henry and Zidane, while Italy's defense included Cannavaro and Marco Materazzi. 5 minutes into the game, Materazzi gives away a penalty, which Zidane converted cheekily. Then, in the second half, Materazzi made amends for his earlier mistake by scoring to level the tie at 1-1. After the intense battle entered the second half of extra time, the referee's attention was called to a player who was down hurt. What was supposed to be a fairy tale ending turned into a nightmare. When asked why he did it, Zidane said, "I asked him to stop pulling my shirt. I told him if he wanted it, I could give him after the game. But he replied, I prefer your sister instead."
Une fois vous essayez de partir, c'est ce que je fais. C'est les mots, comme je vous dis, qui me touchent au plus profond. Vous pouvez les redire ce qui a été dit? Avec la maman, la sœur, c'est des mots très durs, quoi. Donc vous l'écoutez une fois, vous essayez de partir, c'est ce que je fais.
Recalling the events with this in mind, Zidane bowed out of football like a king. But even that bravery is nothing compared to what a Bolivian team did in number 4. During the height of COVID-19, a massive outbreak occurred within the first team of Bolivia club Royal Paris. But instead of postponing their fixtures, the Bolivian FA insisted the club must play its next match against the league giants, the Strongest. Angered by this decision, Royal Paris started the match with only 7 players.
What the hell?
But this proved to be a bad idea, as the Strongest were already up 3-0 in 10 minutes. To stop any further damage, a Real Paris player faked an injury and got the match suspended. While this player took one for the team, another player in England took hits from his teammate. In 2005, Newcastle were just getting destroyed by Aston Villa in front of 52,000 passionate home fans. But just when the Newcastle fans thought they'd been embarrassed enough, this happened.
Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer suddenly were at each other's throats.
It's all going horribly wrong for Newcastle United. Well, what does he...
Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer had to be separated by Aston Villa players, but no one knew what caused them to fight until this interview.
Cannot believe he is throwing punches in front of 52,000 people. What the are you doing, Bo?
That's Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer.
He's like, f***ing hell, you f***ing never passed me the ball, f***ing da-da-da-pin. So I'm like, f*** off. And he's like, what? And I went, the reason why I don't pass you the ball is because you're f***ing shit. And as soon as I said that, the eyes just like, right, it was like something just switched.
And then, that's fighting broke out between 2 Newcastle players. They're fighting amongst themselves.
And I didn't think you could get sent off for fighting your teammates because it's unprecedented.
It's a red card for Dyer. Well, there's going to be a red card for Bowyer as well. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Astonishing scenes here, Jim. Unbelievable incident.
Yeah, he had a short fuse.
Fighting your teammate in front of that many people is crazy. But one man getting a match suspended? That's something left to the Romanian league. During a match between Steaua Bucharest and Petrolul, a fan couldn't control his anger at a dubious play, so he decided to take it out on the entire Steaua team.
A supporter in Romania apparently angry at a dubious penalty decision ended in Steaua Bucharest defender George Galamas suffering serious injuries.
Although he got instant karma, that punch caused serious bleeding and temporary hearing loss for that player. But just when the referee calmed things down, another player was hit by a flare from the stands.
Cyprian Tatarusanu suffered severe burns when he was hit by a firework.
Eventually, the game had to be called off for fear of further injury to the players. Now that we're down to our number one pick, almost all football fans have accepted that Lionel Messi is humble. But is he? In the build-up to the World Cup quarterfinal between Argentina and the Netherlands, Dutch coach Louis van Gaal had this to say: "Messi doesn't participate much when the other team has the ball. That's where our chances lie. He can decide a game with a moment of individual brilliance, but in the semifinal we played against Argentina in 2014, he didn't touch a ball, and we lost on penalties. Now we want our revenge." This comment angered Messi, so he was on a mission to prove the coach wrong on match day. After scoring Argentina's second goal, Messi ran towards the Dutch bench and did this. But the introduction of Weghorst turned this game on its head as the Netherlands scored a goal.
Berghaus, Weghorst!
With a few minutes left on the clock, the match became heated when an Argentina player did this. But when Argentina thought they'd won the match, Weghorst broke their hearts, forcing extra time. Argentina eventually won the resulting penalty shootout, but while everyone was celebrating, Messi walked over to the Dutch bench and called Van Gaal a fool.
Van Gaal saying we got an advantage in penalties. If we go to penalties, we win. I think he needs to keep his mouth shut.
In the changing room, Weghorst tried to shake Messi's hand, but was ignored. So he followed and waited while Messi was being interviewed. Seeing that the big man was staring at him, Messi said this.
Argentina con Leo Messi. Bueno, Leo, quedaste un poco caliente por el final.
¿Qué mira, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo.
Which means, what are you looking at, fool? Damn. You could tell Messi really dislikes the Dutch. Imagine mocking your opponents like Messi did, only for their goalkeeper to pull off a triple save like this. Yeah, you have to see the best goalkeeper saves in football. And first, when Manuel Neuer faced Cristiano Ronaldo, he did the impossible.
Benzema on Boateng, able to turn on it, it's in for Ronaldo, Neuer again!
Damn, his right hand might be bulletproof. And that's only number 1 out of 40, because at number 39, Ter Stegen made the best save of the 2015 UEFA Champions League season.
Oh, wasn't beyond the line.
In a match between Bayern Munich and Barcelona, Robert Lewandowski thought he had doubled his team's lead, only for Ter Stegen to pull off one of the craziest saves ever.
Got the finish, it comes for Lewandowski. Oh, wasn't beyond the line. Well, Bayern so...
But at number 38, an insane save that wasn't even done by a goalkeeper. During the 2010 World Cup match between Uruguay and Ghana, the Ghanaians were hoping to become the first African team to reach the semifinals of the tournament. But they didn't know they were against a team full of world-class goalkeepers. So when the last chance of the game fell to them, Luis Suarez made an incredible double save to deny the goal. While Suarez's block made him the most hated man in Ghana, Jan Sommer's save turned him into a hero from Mönchengladbach.
No goal, says the referee.
With Bayern desperately looking for a goal, Joshua Kimmich thought that he had scored the equalizer for the Bavarians, only for Sommer to pull off this incredible one-finger save. Wow, that's how fast I react when my phone falls out of my hand. But even that is nothing compared to the best save of the 2024 Premier League season. Having been the only team to do the double over Arsenal last season, the Gunners came into the match against Aston Villa hoping to make amends. But early on, Villa mounted pressure to try and get a goal, and that's when this craziness happened.
Rodgers, good ball in, opportunity, shot takes a deflection, it's the crossbar, the rebound, what a save!
At this rate, David Raya could save my failing relationship. But at number 35, Edouard Mendy made the best save of the 2021 Premier League season. After taking an early lead against Brentford, Chelsea came under relentless pressure from the Bees, who were desperate to get an equalizer. Mendy kept blocking attempt after attempt, but with virtually the last kick of the match, this happened. As insane as this might have been, it's nothing compared to the save that won Italy the World Cup. In the 2006 Cup final between Italy and France, the Italians displayed a defensive masterclass to drag the French into extra time. With penalty shootouts fast approaching, the French pushed to try to get a winning goal. So when their best chance fell into the path of Zidane, they thought this was it, only for Buffon to pull off a miracle. For many, that was the save that won Italy the World Cup. But for Andre Onana, his save didn't stop Man United from getting battered. In a Premier League match between Man United and Man City at Old Trafford, the citizens rushed into an early lead from an Erling Haaland penalty.
He's sitting. Haaland sends Onana the wrong way.
With halftime approaching, the away side thought they were about to double their lead, only for Onana to do this. But it didn't stop United from getting slapped 3-0 at home.
One Haaland, Foden, 3-0.
But at number 32, a goalkeeper's sharp reflexes stopped one of the most lethal strikers in the world. Despite scoring an early goal thanks to Jude Bellingham, the English national team struggled to add a second against Serbia. So in the second half, Cole Palmer took his marker to the byline and laid it on a plate for Harry Kane. But his close-range header was denied by this insane save. But wait till you see number 31, where a save decided Argentina's fate at the World Cup. The 2022 World Cup final between Argentina and France was an all-timer. Backed by Ronaldo fans, the French were aiming to win the trophy back-to-back. On the other hand, Messi and Argentina hoped to win the one international trophy they had craved for a long time. As the game started, the Argentines showed more hunger and deservedly took a 2-goal lead. With the end of the game fast approaching, France came back to life through a quick double dip by Kylian Mbappe. The teams still exchanged blows in extra time, leaving the score at 3 apiece. With less than 30 seconds remaining on the clock, this happened. But even that iconic save didn't make it into our top 30. Wait till you see the insane shot Pickford saved at number 18. But before we get there, let's look at a goalkeeper who almost died trying to make a save. 12 years after the infamous Suarez handball, Ghana got a chance for revenge when they faced Uruguay in the 2022 World Cup. But after the Ghanaians missed an early penalty, the Uruguayans piled the pressure in search of the game's opener. Just when they were about to score, Ghana's goalkeeper pulled off an impressive save. Man, breaking your neck while trying to make a save would have been wild, but not as crazy as a save that made a striker quit football. During a match between Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle striker Dwight Gale thought he was about to give his team the lead, but Tottenham goalkeeper Hugo Lloris said, "Nah, not on my balls." What? Watch, not on my watch. Since then, no one's heard anything about Gale again, but even this is nothing compared to what Neuer did at number 28. In a UEFA Nations League match between Germany and Italy, the Germans didn't mess around and rushed out to a 3-0 lead. But when the Italians got a chance to pull one back, this happened. Man, Neuer might be the greatest goalkeeper ever, but even he couldn't have done what happens at 27. In an insane display of improvisation, Gregory Coupé did this to avoid catching a poor back pass from his defender.
His second header, and it could be the winner.
To think he still stood up to make the follow-up save. This guy's got better reflexes than a cat. But it's not the only time a goalkeeper did something like this. Watch this.
Dominic Szoboszlai's won the ball and he's gone for goal! And Hermansen just about keeps it out.
I don't know if this goalkeeper's just showing off or maybe he's a fan of Gregory Coupé. But at number 25, a goalkeeper made a save that shocked Lionel Messi. In the 2015 Copa America, Argentina faced a spirited Colombia side, hoping to reach the semifinals. Led by their little magician, Messi, the Argentines found the Colombia team a tough nut to crack. The goalkeeper kept making numerous saves, but the best one out of the bunch was when he did this. Despite all those heroics, they lost on penalties. But for Iker Casillas, his save won Spain the World Cup. In the 2010 World Cup final between Spain and the Netherlands, the game went about as everyone expected. Two really good teams tactically battling to outsmart each other. In the 61st minute, Arjen Robben got a glorious chance to put the Netherlands ahead, but Casillas pulled off one of the biggest saves in football history to deny a certain goal. Robben couldn't believe it, neither could the fans in the stadium.
Played through for Robben. This is the chance. Arjen Robben is in. And Arjen Robben has been denied by Casillas. Great miss. Or wonderful save.
Get in. He keeps his head. He waits. He waits and waits. He has a look at Casillas.
Spain went on to win the trophy through a last-minute Iniesta dagger. No wonder Casillas couldn't control his emotions after the match. But at number 23, Kepa made an incredible save using glue. Back when Kepa was one of the best goalkeepers in the world, he came up against Aguero in a penalty shootout, desperate to prove his haters wrong. So with the glue stuck to his hand, he dived to his left to save the penalty
Absolutely incandescent, and with every right to it.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. Even Aguero couldn't believe that ball passed under him. However, he isn't the only Chelsea goalkeeper on this list, and this one made one of the best saves in 2022. In a Premier League match between Liverpool and Chelsea, Mo Salah saw that Chelsea keeper Edouard Mendy was off his line. So he tried to lob him from a distance, only for Mendy to do this. Man, what a spring he's got in his legs. And speaking of goalkeepers who can dive, Jordan Pickford made a save to rescue Everton from the jaws of defeat. With the match between Everton and Sheffield United tied at 2, everything came down to one last corner kick. So when the corner was played, this happened.
In goes the corner. Decent delivery. Alessandro got in. Rashford has kept it out. Extraordinary at the net.
Man, not even the Red Cross could save like this. Still, it was only good for number 21. On our number 11 pick, a goalkeeper used a bicycle kick to save a goal. But before we get there, let's look at a save that got Mourinho rethinking his life choices. In the 2017-2018 Premier League season, Jose Mourinho desperately needed his Manchester United boys to prove a point against Pep Guardiola's Man City. City struck first, but Man United equalized almost immediately through Marcus Rashford. But as the second half resumed, City took the lead to the home crowd's dismay. Man United got their chance to score, this happened.
Mata. Martial. Lukaku! Ederson twice! Still Ederson. Incredible goalkeeping.
I don't know if Mourinho was frustrated by the save or Lukaku missing a sitter. Speaking of frustration, Pep Guardiola must have been biting his nails when Jan Oblak did this. Only your mom wouldn't give up on you like this. Shout out to all the moms out there. But at number 18, Jordan Pickford made one of the craziest saves you'll ever see. When Chelsea clashed with Everton at Goodison Park, the Blues expected to brush aside their opponent easily. But they didn't know they were coming face to face with a Jordan Pickford who had just got his mother's blessing. So when a goal-scoring chance fell Chelsea's way, this happened.
Penalty area though. Mason Mounts off the post.
But even an impressive save like is nothing compared to a double save against the best striker in the world. In a match between Aston Villa and Man City, the villains shocked Man City by attacking them and being on the front foot. But when City's best chance of the game fell to Erling Haaland, everyone expected him to bury it clinically, except Emi Martinez.
Haaland onside. Is this the moment? Good save. Good save. Not over. Haaland's there again, and Martinez keeps it out.
He blocked the first goal attempt, then positioned himself perfectly as he anticipated the second one. Is he the best goalkeeper in the world right now? You can tell me in the comments section. And to further prove his case, just look at what he did against Barnes and Wilson.
Could get better for them yet. Flag is laid down. Barnes, Wilson, somehow he's missing.
Damn, this guy is really good, but he's awful at...
What the hell?
Whatever the hell that is. But at number 15, a goalkeeper turned into an Olympic runner just to block a goal.
Joe, would you like to take a step forward? Ladies and gentlemen, on his 300th appearance for Manchester City, Joe Hart has broken a record, 4 Premier League Golden Gloves. Congratulations, Joe.
During a match between Man City and Manchester United, the boys in blue were losing with just seconds in the game remaining. Their pressure resulted in a corner kick, and with it being the last chance of the match, Man City goalkeeper Joe Hart went to try and support the attack. But a loose pass from a City player turned into a counterattack with no goalkeeper in the post. Seeing the imminent danger, Joe Hart turned on the afterburners and ran like his life depended on it. Fortunately, he was fast enough to do this.
Goalkeeper not sure what to do. He's out of position now. It's a clear run. Giggs has got Rooney up to his left. 2 defenders back. And Hart has got there, but Rooney has gone for it. Oh my goodness, he's very near.
Damn, he made the save while looking the wrong way. Speaking of no-look saves, check out what this guy did. Did you see that? The goalkeeper dived before the player even shot the ball. That's just cold, but not as insane as what Pickford did at number 13. The match between Everton and Newcastle was poised to be an exciting one, mainly because both teams had contrasting fortunes. Newcastle was aiming to secure a Champions League spot, and Everton was battling relegation. Newcastle struck first through a Callum Wilson goal, but the Evertonians showed heart by pulling one back, only for it to be cancelled by VAR. Newcastle then added 2 more goals and effectively killed the game. While searching for a 4th goal, a clearance by the Everton defense found its way to Joe Willock, and then this happened.
Obviously got a touch on. Good try, great save. Wonderful hit from Willock, and it's brilliant from Jordan Pickford to get a palm to it.
The control, the volley, and the save were all highlights in their own rights. But I can't stop thinking about how good that goal would have been. But even this is nothing compared to what De Gea did at number 12. When Manchester United visited Arsenal at Emirates Stadium, the Gunners were confident of putting on a good display in front of their fans. But Manchester United came with a secret weapon, a wall to prevent any ball from entering their net. The Gunners kept attacking with nothing to show for it. And when they finally got a chance to score, De Gea did this.
Iwobi, Lacazette, brilliant save, and a second save at the feet of Sanchez, and there was no flag. Outstanding from David.
What's even more insane is that De Gea made a whopping 14 saves to match the record for the most saves in a Premier League game.
It was so quick, probably was the most difficult saves. After the first save, Alexis coming and I put my foot, and I think it was with 2-1, so it was
But at number 11, a goalkeeper showed incredible acrobatics to deny Messi a certain goal. Through Messi's entire career, lobbing goalkeepers has been one of his favorite things to do. He's so good at it, he has a 10-minute YouTube compilation of those types of goals. But while playing for Argentina, he encountered a goalkeeper who dared to defy him. Just as he did his customary lob, this happened. Messi couldn't believe that ball didn't go in, and neither could we. Still, hats off to the goalkeeper for that incredible effort. And with that, we've made it to our top 10. From here on, we'll only be showing the best saves goalkeepers have ever made, starting with literally using glue to stop a ball. During a match between Lech Poznan and PS Gliwice in the Polish League, the Poznan players got a great scoring opportunity after a cross was whipped into the box. But after hitting a strong half volley, the goalkeeper did this. Man, he pinned the ball in one place like his gloves had glue on them. This is by far the most bizarre save I've ever seen. Kinda reminds me of someone.
What the hell?
Now it all makes sense. But what feels more unbelievable is Ter Stegen turning into Superman to make a save. In a La Liga game between Barcelona and Sevilla, the Catalans rushed to an early 2-goal lead, and it seemed the match was going to be smooth sailing from there. But the boys from Sevilla picked themselves up and started to push back. But each time they made a goal attempt, the Barca keeper, Ter Stegen, was there to make a save. Then, when they finally thought they got the better of him, this happened. The way he stretched to make that save, even Superman would be jealous. Makes me wonder why Barcelona fans hate Ter Stegen so much on Twitter. But at number 8, a goalkeeper made a triple save that got him a move to the Premier League. During the 2022-2023 Serie A season, Roma came up against Empoli, hoping to secure a victory that would help them push up the table. But as soon as the game started, the Roma players were shocked when Empoli's goalkeeper did this.
Pellegrini dentro, Luperto
Poi El Shaarawy di testa per Dybala, col sinistro poi Mancini, Vicario Abraham, confusione, arriva Smalling.
Wow, Vicario even turned into a breakdancer just to stop the ball from going in. Rumor has it when Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy saw this save, he got on his private jet, went to Italy, didn't leave until he'd signed that goalkeeper. But at number 7, a goalkeeper made the best save of the 2024-2025 Champions League season so far. In the Champions League opener between Arsenal and Europa League champions Atalanta, the Gunners learned early that their Italian opponents were no pushovers. 5 minutes into the second half, Thomas Partey gave away a silly penalty. With the Atalanta supporters directly behind the goal, it looked certain that they would score. But the Arsenal goalkeeper defied the odds to pull off this insane double save.
Retegui steps up and right, I guess it's the right way, but Retegui was nearly able to poke over the rebound. And look at the reaction from the Arsenal.
But even that fast reaction time is nothing compared to a save that got a goalkeeper a standing ovation.
Well, how did that stay out? It's a great save.
In an FA Cup relay between Chelsea and Manchester United, the Blues hoped their 1-0 lead would be enough to get them into the semi-finals of the competition. Man United, on the other hand, knew they needed to score a fast goal if they wanted to salvage anything from the game. So in the second half, they turned up the heat in search of an equalizer. But after a delicious cross found the head of Chicharito, this happened.
Good defending by Bertrand. It's broken for Welbeck. Go and Hernandez! Well, how did that stay out?
It's a great save. Absolutely blinding by Petr Cech. How he's got a fingertips of this.
The save was so insane, Chicharito asked the goalkeeper how that save was even possible. When you look at the replay again, you understand why he was shocked. And with that, we've made it to our top 5. Things are getting even crazier, kicking off with one of the best saves of the 2015-2016 Champions League season. In the Champions League match between Arsenal and Bayern Munich, the Gunners were prepared to avenge many of the embarrassing losses they got from the Bavarians. But with Manuel Neuer in between the posts, the Arsenal boys knew it wouldn't be easy. And he proved them right when he did this. But this wasn't the first time Neuer showed super reflexes. In a game against Leipzig, he literally defied the laws of physics to make a save. In 2019, when Bayern Munich went head-to-head with Leipzig, they weren't expecting their rivals to attack them with so much energy.
Forward, Leipzig, and asking questions.
But for a team being sponsored by Red Bull, the Leipzig players understood the expectations of their club owners. In the second half of the game, Leipzig's Forsberg unleashed a rocket from a long way out.
Sabitzer! Oh, and Neuer needed all.
First glance, it looked like a routine save for Neuer, but when it was replayed, it showed the ball changing direction at the last second. Neuer had already moved to block the ball. He had to adjust his movement to make that incredible save. But even this is nothing compared to what Jose Sa did against Everton. In the 2023-2024 Premier League season, the Everton vs. Wolves match was huge. Both teams were battling relegation. They knew a win against a direct rival would almost guarantee safety. The game's tempo was high, with both teams trying to score. Wolves goalkeeper Jose Sa making save after save to deny Everton. But the highlight of the game came here.
Oh, they switch at Everton to that right-hand side. The cross comes in towards the far post, and that is a wonderful save from Jose Sa.
I've got to say, the Everton lads...
Incredible! He was already running in the opposite direction and still readjusted himself without stopping. I thought Manuel Neuer's save was great, but this tops it by a mile. And yet, it's only good enough for number 3. What comes at number 2 was voted the 2018 CONCACAF Save of the Season. In a CONCACAF quarterfinal match between Club America and Taro, the Mexican team got an early 1-0 lead and became overconfident.
Long-range effort off the bar and in!
Their goalkeeper, Agustin Marchesín, came far away from his goalpost to play a free kick. I don't know if he's blind, but he passed the ball straight to an opponent's leg, and that's when this happened.
offensive spark, and now here's the chipped effort. Couldn't find the back of the net. It's kept out by
Man, I don't think Usain Bolt ever accelerated that fast. Or maybe he was scared of what would have happened to him back in Mexico.
I'm a gangster. I'm a gangster.
Damn. Almost got caught. Yeah, no, man, that was close.
I guess we'll never find out. But now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The best goalkeeper save in history. Having struggled for playing time since his move to Atletico from Benfica, 22-year-old Jan Oblak finally got his chance when he replaced an injured Angel Moya, who couldn't continue their game against Bayer Leverkusen. At first, the Leverkusen players thought he was ass, so they kept trying shot after shot, only to be denied by the brilliant Oblak. But his biggest save yet was when he did this. Damn, he was making those saves like his life depended on it. Talk about taking your chances. His performance that night won his manager and fans over, and since then, he's been one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Saving shots is a goalkeeper's job, I get that. But what happens when referees turn into goalkeepers? You gotta see the times referees ruined football. And for Cristiano Ronaldo, a referee's mistake almost cost him a spot in the 2022 World Cup. When Portugal came up against Serbia in a 2022 World Cup qualifier, they badly needed a win to keep their hopes of qualification alive. With everything on the line, Ronaldo made one last move to recuse his country. Then, despite obviously crossing the line, the referee disallowed the goal as VAR and goal line technology weren't working that day. After the game, Ronaldo could not contain his anger. But this singular act was the beginning of another story. A stadium worker found that armband and donated it to charity. The charity put it up for auction and it sold for $75,000, which was used to pay for the treatment of a 6-month-old baby with spinal cord problems. But while Ronaldo's anger helped save a baby's life, Robert Heuser's greed caused one of the biggest scandals in German football. In a DFB Cup match between Bundesliga side Hamburg and 3rd Division club Paderborn, German referee Robert Heuser awarded 2 controversial penalties to Paderborn and sent off a Hamburg player who complained about his decisions. This caused pre-match favorites Hamburg to lose the match 4-2. The controversial nature of the penalties led to an investigation, and when the results came out, it sent shockwaves across Europe. It was discovered that Heuser had received a £42,000 bribe and a flat-screen TV to ensure Hamburg lost. A TV? Further investigation revealed that he was involved in match fixing on games in the 2nd Division, 3rd Division, and the DFB Cup.
Das Millionenspiel endet am 28. Januar mit der Festnahme des Trios.
He was found guilty and sentenced to 2 years and 5 months in prison. But while Heuser was enjoying his TV in jail, some blind guys were in charge of VAR in England. In Manchester United's opening game of the 2023-2024 season, they came under intense pressure from a Wolves team desperate to prove a point. But they somehow scored a goal with 14 minutes left on the clock.
Fernandes. Lovely ball in. Wan-Bissaka surely.
But just as the game was about to end, Andre Onana did this. There's no question that's a penalty. But VAR checked and said, nah.
What?
This awful decision sparked a huge backlash. The Referees Association was forced to apologize to Wolves, while the 3 match officials were suspended. We all know the referees in England are shit, but when you see similar errors in the Champions League, that just annoys you differently.
No! God, please, no! No!
During the Champions League match between Man City and Shakhtar Donetsk, Raheem Sterling found himself face-to-face with the keeper and did this.
The
даже ветра никакого не производил вокруг себя. Вот эта нога мимо, он просто а здесь Стерлинг пошел.
But instead of getting booked for diving, the referee pointed to the spot and awarded a penalty.
No! God, please, no! No!
Стерлинг пошел
Should Sterling have told the referee he wasn't fouled? Yes, but did he? Rather, he just joined the celebration as Jesus converted the penalty.
Oh, no, listen, he's not blaming Sterling. He's not trying to win a penalty. He just, what we would say, he made a hash of it, and it was quite embarrassing.
I'm sure you think this is bad, but wait till you see Nani's goal against Tottenham. In a Premier League match between Manchester United and Tottenham, the Red Devils are winning 1-0 with just 5 minutes left to play. Nani made a darting run into the penalty area and fell under a tackle, which the referee didn't buy. But as the goalkeeper was about to take the resulting free kick, this happened.
I think he did. I think he got caught here. I think Kabul pulls him there.
But even this madness was only good for number 16, because what a Brazilian ball boy does at number 8 will shock you. But before we get there, let's look at the incident that created one of the most viral memes on the internet. In December 2023, the match between Manchester City and Tottenham was an entertaining affair with plenty of goals at both ends. But with few minutes left to play, Man City had a chance to win it, or so they thought. The referee initially gave an advantage for the foul on Haaland, but decided to blow the whistle when Grealish was through on goal.
Cross comes in, and it's still kept alive, but now they've lost it, and Rodri plays it to Haaland. Oh, dreadful challenge, gets away with it because Haaland kept the ball, and on he goes to Grealish, and Grealish is down the middle, and the referee has blown his whistle. Oh my word, what a shocker!
Haaland couldn't believe what he just witnessed. He was so mad, he wanted to fight the whole Tottenham bench alone. Then went straight to his phone to tweet this. But I wonder where this energy was in the match against Arsenal. When Arsenal and Man City met in a Premier League match in North London, the Gunners were just trying to put on a show in front of their home fans.
Support from Rice goes himself!
But as Odegaard was about to receive a pass, Kovacic did this. At first, it looked like a normal foul, but when the replay was showed, it turned out to be a horrible tackle that easily could have broken Odegaard's ankle. But the referee and VAR claimed it was not a dangerous tackle and only gave him a yellow card. A few minutes later, Kovacic, happy he escaped a red, did this. And the referees turned a blind eye again. How Kovacic escaped a red card in both situations is just unbelievable. It didn't matter though, as Arsenal eventually won the game 1-0.
Havertz, Martinelli! Oh yes! Gabriel Martinelli!
But at number 13, a referee made an embarrassing mistake because he didn't understand simple math. During the World Cup match between Croatia and Australia, English referee Graham Poll issued a yellow card to Croatian defender Simunic for a hard tackle on one of the Australians. In the 90th minute, Simunic committed another silly tackle, and the referee gave him a second yellow card. Should have been a red card, right? But Simunic still stayed on the pitch and had the nerve to complain to the ref for blowing against his teammate. This earned him a third yellow card, and finally, a red. After the game, Poll was so embarrassed by what happened, he resigned immediately. But the team at number 12 got eliminated from the 2010 World Cup because of one unforgivable mistake. Games between Germany and England are always a spectacle of football, and the 2010 World Cup match between both countries was not an exception. The Germans rushed to an early 2-0 lead before Matthew Upson scored to make it 2-1. With momentum on their side, Frank Lampard took a shot, and this happened. That clearly crossed the line, but the referee didn't award the goal.
That surely crossed the line! I hope he's scored.
Lampard couldn't believe it, and neither could his teammates. There was no way to prove it was a goal. But that moment inspired the introduction of goal line technology and VAR, which would have been helpful for our number 11 pick. France came up against Ireland in a match deciding who would go to the 2010 World Cup. Everyone expected France to defeat Ireland easily, and that prediction seemed correct as France won the first leg 1-0. But as the second leg began, a quick goal by Robbie Keane turned the whole tie upside down. So with France desperately needing a goal, Thierry took matters into his own hands.
Laurent Malouda trying to measure it. Richard Dunn lost out. Oh, Henry! Oh, it's in the net. It's a goal. He's not the back to Gallas and it's easy, but that's a handball, no question about it. Absolutely.
The Irish players immediately swarmed the referee, claiming a handball. From the referee, this was the French version of Maradona's Hand of God. Their pleas fell on deaf ears, though. That goal sent France to the 2010 World Cup. Even that robbery couldn't break our top 10. Wait till you see what happens at number 1, a club threatening to go to court because of a referee. But before we get there, let's look back at a time when Barcelona were bribing referees. The build-up to the UEFA Champions League semi-final between Chelsea and Barcelona was tense. Barcelona were operating at the peak of their powers, and Chelsea just weren't scared of them. Early into the game, Michael Essien gave Chelsea the lead, and it seemed like the Blues would take it.
Put it back, and Essien! It's a fantastic stop!
But little did they know, they were facing corruption. In the 25th minute, Drogba found himself through on goal. But after being fouled by Eric Abidal, there was no penalty awarded. Another shocking moment came when the referee refused to give a penalty for this Gerard Piqué handball.
He says no. Does he move past Terry? Eto'o broke from him.
Then, with a few seconds left in the game, Iniesta broke their hearts with the all-important away goal.
But it's Messi. It's Iniesta! And the Chelsea fans cover their eyes in horror. 2 minutes from time.
The Chelsea players picked themselves up for one last attempt at scoring a goal, but to the dismay of Ballack, the referee refused to give a penalty for this handball.
Lampard takes the corner and Schick was up there and got ahead to it. Ballack has a rattle pill handball. The referee says no. The referee says no. Confronts him ultimately in his direction. Just as he has been.
After the final whistle, the Chelsea players couldn't hold in their anger.
To the final, and Chelsea is directing at the referee now.
He's going to be. Players have to keep their heads as well. There's no doubt about that. That a referee from Norway is the strongest official.
You can't disagree with what he said. But 8 years later, Barcelona were back to their former antics, this time against PSG. Paris Saint-Germain shocked the world when they beat Barcelona 4-0 in the first leg of their UEFA Champions League knockout game. Heading into the second league, everyone had written Barca off. Well, except the refs. Barca quickly rushed to a 2-0 lead in the first half. But PSG still felt comfortable. The second half began controversially, as Barca were given a penalty for this challenge. A few minutes later, the referee denied PSG a penalty from this kick. PSG then scored an all-important away goal to kill the game. Or so they thought. In the game's dying minutes, Luis Suarez dived to earn Barcelona another undeserved penalty, which Neymar converted.
Neymar steps up. It's in the net! Neymar!
The final nail in the coffin was when Roberto scored a last-minute goal to complete the remontada, or reftada. See what I did there? Never mind. But at number 8, a referee in the Brazilian League awarded the most bizarre goal you'll ever see. With a minute left in the Brazilian League match, Santa Cruzense thought they had missed their chance to equalize when this shot deflected out for a goal kick. Just as the keeper was preparing to take the goal kick, the ball boy did this. To the shock of everyone in the stadium, the referee spoke with the linesman and awarded the goal. What? But what happens at number 7 is even worse.
Unbelievable. There's a goal, but it's not a goal, but it's a goal.
What? In the 13th minute of the match between Reading and Watford, a corner kick by Reading caused a scramble inside the penalty box. Amid the commotion, the linesman somehow saw the ball cross the line and told the referee it was a goal. What the hell? Let's slow this down a bit. Can you see the ball anywhere near the line? But the referee followed his linesman's advice and gave the goal. With all of us confused, let's listen to a pundit explain what really happened.
Jeff, unbelievable. There's a goal, but it's not a goal, but it's a goal because the referee's given it as a goal because he consulted with the linesman and the linesman gave the goal. But listen to the crowd. I mean, they're laughing on the Reading.
Honestly, it's no surprise this referee was suspended afterwards, but I wasn't ready for what happened at number 6. During the African Cup of Nations 2022, the match between Mali and Tunisia was full of tackles and stoppages. With Mali leading 1-0, everyone expected a lengthy injury time. But in the 85th minute, the referee blew for full time. After many protests, play was restarted, but in the 89th minute, he blew for full time again. At the post-match press conference, the coaches of Tunisia and Mali revealed something crazy.
Ici, fait la fin du match. Ils nous demandent d'aller au vestiaire. Tous les joueurs ils font le bain de glace pendant 35 minutes. Après, il vient et nous demande de revenir sur terrain. Ici, fait la 89e minute.
Bon, nous, on nous a dit de nous mettre sur le terrain parce que le match était pas. Malheureusement, l'équipe adverse n'a pas voulu faire sa pression.
Ça fait presque 30 ans que je suis dans ce domaine et j'ai jamais vu une situation pareille.
Damn, this ref's even more messed up than I thought. And with that, we've arrived at our top 5. From here on out, it's going to be the craziest blunders referees have ever made. Starting with Barcelona getting robbed. Yeah, I know that sounds weird. Having conceded earlier in the game against Real Betis, Barcelona were pushing to at least salvage something from the game. But just as Andre Gomez's shot was about to enter the post, a brilliant tackle by a Betis defender stopped it from crossing the line.
1-0. Ricardo, lo estamos viendo repetido. No es que entra o no entra. En directo ya nos parecía evidente, es que es muy evidente.
Wait a minute. The replay showed that ball was way over the line, but the referee just wasn't interested. That decision proved costly as Barca lost the league to Real Madrid by 3 points. But after licking their wounds from the previous season, the referees messed them up again, this time involving Lionel Messi. This one happened during the match between Barca and Valencia. The Valencia keeper couldn't hold on to Messi's shot, and the ball rolled over the line, or that's what everyone thought. The Barca players ran to celebrate, and the commentators announced it was a goal.
That one crossed the line. Neto.
But the referee who was standing there said it wasn't. Afterward, the Barca players surrounded him to complain. He simply told them to f*** off. Do we feel bad for Barca, or are they simply paying for their sins against other clubs? I'll let you decide. But what happened at number 3 cost Leeds United the league title. During a Premier League title race in 1971, Leeds United went against West Ham knowing that only a win would keep them above their rival, Arsenal. But on match day, this single moment cost them everything. The linesman flagged offside, making everyone stop. But the referee then waved play on, allowing the West Ham player to have a free run at the goal. I'm no expert in the offside rule, but I can understand how mad this made the Leeds players and fans feel. The game ended in a draw, which ensured Leeds lost the league title to Arsenal by a single point. Everyone makes mistakes, but what the referees did at number 2 made the manager call for the match to be replayed. In a highly anticipated match, Liverpool traveled to North London to take on a free-flowing Tottenham side. The game was end-to-end until a silly tackle by Curtis Jones earned him a red card after VAR intervention. Reds still scored a beautiful goal, only for it to be cancelled for offside.
Salah does want the flag. Diaz keeps going. What a finish! Although
the replay showed Luis Diaz was onside. Somehow the VAR guys insisted it was offside. Even though both teams scored, Liverpool lost painfully after being reduced to 9 men.
Liverpool are going to be reduced to 9 men here.
After the game, the Liverpool coach was fuming. This is what he said.
They didn't do that on purpose. And we should not forget that. Yes, it was a mistake, an obvious mistake. Not as a manager of Liverpool, so much more as a football person. I think the outcome should be a replay.
You could feel the pain in his voice. He felt robbed. The Referees Association, PGMOL, issued an apology to Liverpool, saying it was a significant human error. But everyone wanted to see how the VAR arrived at that decision, so they released this.
2D line on the boot.
Yep, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Off.
Thank you, mate.
Wait. The on-field decision was offside. Are you happy with this? Yeah. Are you happy with this? Offside goal. Yeah. On-field decision was offside. Are you happy with this image?
That's fine.
Yeah, it's onside. The image we gave him is onside.
Left back.
He's gone offside. Delay. Ollie's saying to delay. Ollie's saying to delay. Delay the game. Stop the game.
They've restarted the game.
The decision is offside.
Cut nothing.
When you thought the PGMOL couldn't go lower than this, they struck again, almost getting a team relegated. Towards the end of the 2023-2024 Premier League season, 5 teams were all under the threat of relegation. So when 2 of these teams, Everton and Nottingham Forest, clashed, it was a match with huge significance. But instead of a hard-fought football game, it was filled with controversy. This was the first incident.
Up for him on the edge of the box. Gay gets back and gets the challenge in, and then Gio.
Followed by this.
Gibbs White has come to him. Gibbs White with a volleyed cross. Back post for Hudson-Odoi. And was that handball by Ashley Young? It's going to be a corner.
And finally this.
First time ball in field from Gibbs White to Danilo. He's tried to play it in behind Ashley Young. And Hudson-Odoi is looking for it. Ashley Young slides in with the tackle. Hudson-Odoi's
all 3 potential penalties that Forest were denied. Eventually, Everton won the match 2-0. Furious about what happened, Nottingham Forest released this shocking statement. The part that struck me the most was that Nottingham warned that the VAR was a Luton fan, a direct rival in their battle against relegation. But the Referees Association didn't change him out. Looking back at the incident with this information, it all begins to make sense why VAR didn't do anything about them. Thankfully, Nottingham Forest survived relegation and will compete again this season. A VAR official trying to relegate a football team? Well, now I get why Mourinho switched up on a referee like this. You gotta see what triggered this response in the most ridiculous moments in football history. And first, Cristiano Ronaldo did something so absurd, it got a whole country upset. During a Saudi Pro League match between Al-Shabaab and Al Nassr, the Al-Shabaab fans kept shouting Messi's name each time Ronaldo touched the ball. So, after scoring to help his team win, he shut the Messi fans up by doing this. But he got a 1-match suspension and a $5,000 fine. But if Ronaldo can get away with that behavior, you better believe Messi will be doing the same thing. After a heated quarterfinal between the Netherlands and Argentina, Messi was in no mood for jokes as he was already beefing with the Dutch coach.
Van Gaal saying we got an advantage in penalties. If we go to penalties, we win. I think he needs to keep his mouth shut.
So when Weghorst tried talking to Messi, the Argentine had none of it.
Argentina con Leo Messi. Bueno, Leo, quedaste un poco caliente por el final.
Mira, bobo. ¿Qué mira, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo. Anda para allá.
Tranquilo, Leo.
My Spanish isn't that great, but I'm sure he wasn't talking about cameras.
If you guys are waiting for him, you want to give him a head. Yeah? You do it like this. Okay, there's no respect for that.
Speaking of upset South American fans, Neymar got so angry about a tattoo, He paid a fortune to get it removed. If you've been watching the English Premier League, I'm sure you know who Richarlison is. Recently, the Brazilian posted a picture of a new tattoo he got. On his back was a huge portrait of Brazilian Ronaldo himself and Neymar. At first, it looked like a cool way to honor his idols. But when Neymar saw the image, it immediately pissed him off. He was so unhappy, he sent 30 grand to Richarlison to remove the tattoo. $30,000. He must really hate Richarlison, which is justified by how he plays in the Premier League. But while Neymar was splashing the cash, Cristiano Ronaldo was smashing phones.
Merseyside police are investigating an incident in which Cristiano Ronaldo appeared to knock a mobile phone out of a supporter's hand at Everton.
During a Premier League match between Everton and Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo and his teammates found the Everton hill too steep to climb. After losing the game 1-0, Ronaldo was limping back to the changing room and was in no mood for pleasantries. So when a young Everton fan tried asking for a selfie, he smashed the phone. The video went viral and Ronaldo was charged by the FA for improper conduct.
Cristiano Ronaldo appeared to knock a mobile phone out of a supporter's hand at Everton. United have said they will cooperate with any inquiry.
But the forward ultimately apologized on Instagram.
Ronaldo apologized on Instagram last night. He said it's never easy to deal with emotions in difficult moments, such as the one we are facing. Nevertheless, we all have to be respectful, patient, and set the example for all the youngsters who love the beautiful game. I would like to apologise for my outburst, and if possible, I would like to invite this supporter to watch a game at Old Trafford as a sign of fair play and sportsmanship.
But as ridiculous as smashing a kid's phone is, it's not as crazy as hitting his teammates with the ball. In a league match between Juventus and Sassuolo, Cristiano Ronaldo was upset that the referee penalized him for a handball. So in frustration, he did this. As Khedira just found out, being Ronaldo's teammate doesn't always end well. No. But what's even crazier is almost getting knocked out by a football. While presenting in a football match, Sky reporter Jessica Kastrup found out that football is not always safe.
Simon Südel hat ihn am Mikrofon.
And what made it even funnier is she wore a safety helmet in her next match. But what's even more ridiculous is a group of fans who aren't scared of dying. During a Dutch league match between Vitesse and NEC, the Vitesse players celebrated with their fans after winning the game, but as they bounced up and down, the platform suddenly collapsed. Instead of running to safety, they kept bouncing like nothing happened.
Oh my God!
But even defying death is not as ridiculous as balancing beer on your head. Check this guy out. Damn, he must have air suspension in his head somewhere. But at number 22, a protester took things too far by crashing into a stadium. The fans were treated to a rather bizarre spectacle during the highly anticipated Euro 2020 clash between Germany and France. While waiting for a kickoff, fans noticed a paraglider coming into the stadium. But as soon as he came close, he crashed into the camera wires and lost control. He took out some people and eventually crashed into the field. Now, I'm not against protesting and demanding change, but putting people's lives at risk like that is unacceptable. And speaking of inappropriate behavior, Kepa did something so ridiculous It cost him £75,000. In a Premier League match between Man City and Chelsea in 2019, the boys from Manchester hammered the Blues 6-0. So when these two teams met again in the Carabao Cup final, everyone expected another battering. Unfortunately, the Blues were out to prove a point this time, so they defended like crazy and took the game into extra time. With a few minutes left and the possibility of penalties, the Chelsea coach looked at goalkeeper Kepa's penalty record and immediately knew he was terrible at it. So to give his boys a fighting chance, he decided to replace him with a better penalty stopper. And that's when the craziness started.
No, please, no.
Kepa refused to come off, completely defying his coach's orders. And when a player refused to be substituted, there's nothing anyone can do. The match went to penalties, and just like his coach predicted, Kepa flopped.
Absolutely incandescent, and with every right to be. Well, he's walking away.
After losing the final, the club was furious with the goalkeeper and fined him a week's pay.
And so I didn't want the goalkeeper go to the penalties in that physical condition. I realized that the situation only after 3-4 minutes when the doctor arrived there. And the goalkeeper wanted only to let me know that he was in condition to go to the penalty. So it was only a big misunderstanding. Kepa was right, but in the wrong way, I think.
At the end of the season, Chelsea signed a new goalkeeper to replace him. But even all this madness didn't even make our top 20. You'll understand when you see what Jose Mourinho did at our number 12 pick. But before we get there, let's take a look at one of the most ridiculous touchline battles. When Chelsea came up against Tottenham in the London Derby of 2022, everyone expected an intense game with Thomas Tuchel and Antonio Conte coaching their respective teams. Chelsea got an early lead through Koulibaly, but as the second half began, Tottenham equalized controversially.
This was the incident where it was the flick up there that maybe there was a handball. Side against Richarlison in the way of Mendes line. You have to say from that angle he possibly could be, but...
The goal upset Tuchel, who wasn't happy with the way Conte celebrated. But just as Chelsea thought Reece James' goal was the winner,
Reece James! Chelsea have their lead back!
Harry Kane broke their hearts in the final minutes of the match.
And it comes, and it's headed in for 2-2. Deep.
So when the ref blew the whistle, this happened.
Finished. Correction. It's only just started. In terms of...
Look, I'm not supporting violence or anything, but I enjoyed watching that fight. But not all rivalries end in violence. Some just show you how respectful fans can be. At the start of the 2009-2010 Premier League season, Arsenal were one of the most informed teams. So when they visited Old Trafford, everyone expected the Gunners to get at least a point. They scored an early goal, but United came from behind to lead 2-1. But when the ref ruled out Van Persie's injury time equalizer, Arsene Wenger was furious, and he kicked a water bottle in frustration. Seeing his reaction, the ref gave him a red card and sent him to the stands. Wenger turned and walked straight to the United fans. With no place to sit, he did this. Now that's cold. Even the United fans couldn't help but applaud him. But at number 18, a player got fined £25,000 for doing something ridiculous to his former team. When Emmanuel Adebayor was playing for Arsenal, he shared a special bond with the fans as they saw him as a player who gave his all. But when Man City's moneybags came in 2009, he switched to the blue side of Manchester.
What the hell?
This move infuriated the Arsenal fans. They saw him as a man who betrayed them for money. He started getting constant abuse from the Arsenal fans, who called his mother a whore and said his dad washed elephants. Adebayor didn't respond at first, but when the abuse got out of hand, he knew he had to do something. He got his chance when Man City clashed with Arsenal. Adebayor rose the highest to head in a goal against his former club, and that's when this happened. He ran the length of the pitch just to celebrate in front of the fans who'd been abusing him. But the ref gave him a yellow card for that, and he was fined $25,000.
The frustration is out of me. I'm very sorry for doing what I have done. I have done a big mistake today, and I think tomorrow this thing will never happen anymore.
But at number 17, a player's secret weapon is so crazy it feels illegal. Since their promotion to the Premier League, Leicester City's Jamie Vardy has been one of the league's most direct and fast players.
Jamie Vardy! History!
He regularly runs in behind defenders at a devastating pace and doesn't seem to get tired. When asked how he can do that, Vardy revealed that he takes a can of Red Bull when he wakes up in the morning, takes another can before a game, and treats himself to one more after the match. In a time when players are cautious about their diets, seeing a player do this is pretty crazy.
Oh, Jamie, still got it.
Yeah, still managing to.
In the season opener against Tottenham, Leicester City were losing the game 1-0. So when Vardy came out of the tunnel, he downed a full can of Red Bull, went on, and scored the equalizer.
He was attacking it. Atamu Vardy!
Easy enough. Then you gotta see a coach who got injured in the most bizarre way. In a Premier League match between Liverpool and Tottenham, Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp was unhappy about many of the referee's decisions. So when his side scored a last-minute winner, he ran straight to try and mock the fourth official. And then... woof. Getting injured while trying to mock someone, that's just ridiculous.
Fair punishment for behaving not the right way. I have pain for a few days, Mr. Tierney not. That's it.
But it's not as crazy as Immobile resurrecting from the dead. During the Euro 2020 match between Belgium and Italy, Immobile felt like a sack of potatoes after being tackled by the Belgian defense. But as he was rolling on the floor, desperately looking for a penalty, his teammate Nico Barella picked up the loose ball and scored an absolute banger. Seeing that the ball had gone in, he suddenly became Mobile again. See what I did there? Never mind. I've got one question though. Do goals magically heal the injured? Because a similar thing happened in the Spanish La Liga. In a match between Atletico Madrid and Elche, Alvaro Morata showed insane ability to dribble when he easily skipped past two defenders. Now pay attention to what he does when his shot's blocked.
Morata leaves the defender for dead. Morata, left foot is short, takes a big deflection, it will bounce across the line. Morata is down, but Atletico Madrid. Oh, Morata quickly gets up to celebrate.
Damn, from rolling like he was severely injured to leaping into the air in celebration. Goals do have magical powers. But as crazy as Morata's drive might have been, it's nothing compared to what Louis van Gaal did.
Oh my goodness!
In a Premier League match between Man United and Arsenal, Louis van Gaal was furious that the referee blew the whistle for what seemed like a dive. So when he noticed the referee didn't understand his complaint, he demonstrated it.
Van Gaal obviously irritated there by what he considers to be a dive by
Well,
Alexis Sanchez.
who needs VR when you can just show the ref like that?
Oh my goodness! What is that? Now he's on the loose. Oh, in wonder over what just happened to Louis van Gaal. Oh, here he is! Can you believe this man? He certainly has his way to...
But if you think this is funny, wait till you see Jose Mourinho go from smiling to angry in 2 seconds. During a Premier League match between Tottenham and Man City, Jose Mourinho and his assistant were happy that the referee denied Raheem Sterling a penalty after Hugo Lloris brought him down. So when they sat down, the assistant suddenly remembered Sterling was already on a yellow card and could potentially get a red for diving. So he told his boss, and the two switched up instantly. This is by far the funniest thing I've seen a manager do, because this is how fast I react when my girl tells me she's home alone.
Hey, you should come over. I'm home alone.
But at number 11, Cristiano Ronaldo tries to get a lady's attention in the most ridiculous way. While warming up for Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo had one of his uncharacteristic free kicks that ended up hitting a steward's head.
Simon Südel hat ihn am Mikrofon.
Seeing the lady collapsed and needed help, Ronaldo jumped over the advertisement boards to check on her. After she was cleared to continue her duties, he gave her one of his shirts. The smile on her face was refreshing to see. And with that, we've arrived at our top 10. From here on out, it's only the most ridiculous moments in football history. Let's kick things off with Iker Casillas shooting his shot on live TV. After helping Spain win the 2010 World Cup, Casillas was filled with emotion while being interviewed by a news reporter. But while she was asking questions, Casillas only had one thing on his mind. So when he was done talking, he took his shot in front of millions of people. Okay, I'm just kidding. They'd already been dating for a year, so when his girl was interviewing him at the highest point in his life, he just couldn't resist the temptation. While this was a romantic moment, the kiss at number 9 is one of the most ridiculous things you'll see today.
Oh no, 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 no.
During a championship match between Sunderland and Norwich, both sets of players were fired up and willing to do anything to get the win. So when Luke O'Neill and Sorensen went to contest the ball, this happened.
Yeah, it's just that little nudge. It's dangerous when you push him into a hoarding like that. And I think no player is going to be happy with being...
What the hell?
That is the greatest shithousery I've ever seen. The Norwich player didn't even know whether to grab or to punch him. When asked why he did it, O'Neill said, "As players, we try to wind each other up, and normal people do it down the aggressive route. I tried an alternative route, and I think it worked a little bit." Most aggressive, non-aggressive thing I've ever seen. But at number 8, a player got attacked for scoring a legit goal. In a match between Aston Villa and Leeds United, a Villa player fell to the ground injured. Seeing their teammate was down, the Villa players urged the Leeds players to put the ball down so he could be attended to. The Leeds players refused and went on to score. This infuriated the Villa players, who tried to attack the player that scored. But in a shocking turn of events, the Leeds coach ordered his players to give the goal back. I swear, I've only seen this when playing FIFA with my friends, but no video game in the world could recreate the celebration that comes at number 7. When FC Cracovia faced their reserve team in a friendly, everyone expected the senior squad to better them and be done with it. But when the big boys scored a goal, they all ran off the pitch, only to return later like this. As ridiculous as that celebration might have been, it's nothing compared to a club hiring a secret agent.
Light once, and it's got it! It's got it! It would have gone to...
In the build-up to the match between Liverpool and Sunderland, the Liverpool fans were expecting their team to brush aside the Sunderland players easily. But Sunderland had secretly recruited an agent to help them. The agent threw a balloon onto the pitch, and when the Sunderland striker shot a goal, it deflected off it and entered the net.
Light once, and it's got it! It's got it! It would have gone to Rainer, and it's in the blue and gone in. It's 1-0 and so unlucky Liverpool.
Okay, I'm just messing with you. But you have to feel real bad for Pepe Reina, who just couldn't do anything to save the ball. And now that we're down to our top 5, things are gonna get even more ridiculous. Starting with one of the most viral moments of AFCON 2024. In the quarterfinal between Mali and Ivory Coast, the Malians started the game awfully. They missed a penalty after just 16 minutes. But after scoring what looked like a sure winner, the Ivory Coast equalized with a few seconds left on the clock.
Just got to drop it into Fofana. It doesn't break free, but it does now.
Extra time was largely cagey, and when it looked like it'd be settled by penalties, Ivory Coast scored a very late winner.
Bit of movement as well. Overall, them headed away. Comes to Fofana.
When the Ivorians were celebrating, the Mali coach was in a huge battle with himself. When asked what happened, the coach said, "After the Elephants' second goal, I started to feel dizzy. My blood pressure was rising." Seeing your team bottle a lead that way is enough to make any man lose it. But that wasn't the only ridiculous moment at AFCON, because at number 4, a ref also needed water to cool his head. During the game between Mali and Tunisia, the referee blew the final whistle with 5 minutes of normal time left. Because Tunisia were losing at the time, they heavily protested, and the referee allowed the game to continue. Then, in the 89th minute, he ended the match again, much to the anger of the Tunisians, but this time, their protests fell on deaf ears and he walked off the pitch. At the post-match press conference, the Tunisia coach revealed something even more ridiculous.
Il siffle la fin du match, il nous demande d'aller au vestiaire. Tous les joueurs ils font le bain de glace pendant 35 minutes. Après, il vient et il nous demande de revenir sur terrain. Il siffle à la 89e minute.
Bon, nous, on nous a dit de nous mettre sur le terrain parce que le match était parti. Malheureusement, l'équipe adverse n'a pas voulu faire sa presse.
Ça fait presque 30 ans que je suis dans ce domaine et j'ai jamais vu une situation pareille.
I think this ref needs some water poured on his head too. But even this, it's not as ridiculous as 2 grown men sharing the same toilet.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. No.
While Tottenham were losing to Chelsea, Eric Dyer suddenly zoomed off into the toilet. Seeing that he was out of subs, Jose Mourinho went into the toilets and got Dyer back on the pitch.
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
but no one knew exactly what was wrong with Dyer until a reporter brought it up in an interview.
Don't know if you're aware or not, but if you're trying to have a quick pee, the last thing you need is somebody standing over your shoulder.
The problem is that was not a pee.
Standing over a man while he's taking a dump is wild.
No. Wait. Wait.
But it's nothing compared to getting a stripper onto a football field. Hardcore fans of Dutch club Rijnsburgse boys were tired of seeing their players perform awfully. So they decided to motivate their players by doing this. The fans paid a stripper to try and motivate their team. And with the way that player looked at her, you might say it worked.
Nice.
But this didn't stop them from getting beat 6-2. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the most ridiculous moment in football history. To connect with his fans, Cristiano Ronaldo disguised himself to play football in the streets of Madrid. But just like he predicted, no one recognized him, despite his skills looking way better than his looks. A lady even denied him her phone number, which, quite frankly, is the biggest fumble ever. Eventually, one little boy decided to play with him, and after some kickabouts, he revealed his true identity. And the fans rushed to him like a flood. He tried the same thing in Italy, but this time, fans caught on. He gathered a crowd while performing his skills, but even without taking off his disguise, they knew it was him. No matter how ridiculous your disguise is, you can't hide greatness. Wearing a fake beard to play football might seem ridiculous, but it's nothing compared to the 12 items Ronaldo owns that cost more than your life.
What you gonna do?
First, a $7 million purchase that literally saved his family's lives. Born into a poor family, Ronaldo's life wasn't exactly favorable. His mother was a cleaner, his father worked as a gardener and part-time kitman. From a young age, he was determined to change his family's fortunes. So when he signed for Manchester United, he moved his whole family out of Portugal. But he always remembered his roots. So after signing a $117 million contract with Juventus, he returned to his hometown on the island of Madeira and erected a $7 million mansion.
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
the house has 7 stories to match his iconic number 7 jersey, a rooftop swimming pool with a view of the ocean, an indoor gym, and a pool. But in 2020, something insane happened.
Early this morning, the president's travel ban began preventing entry for those traveling from 26 European countries.
When the coronavirus hit, the whole world was put on hold. Everybody thought the end was near. But while people like you and I struggled with wearing masks and quarantining, it was reported Ronaldo acquired a new private island and took his whole family there to escape the virus.
Wait a minute!
An island. Well, his partner Georgina seemed to confirm this by posting pictures of the family enjoying quarantine. It showed Ronaldo Jr. on a rooftop pool and a view of the ocean from the window. But as much as we would have wanted this story to be true, the Ronaldo family was quarantined at his house in the island of Madeira. But listen, escaping a virus in a $7 million house, well, it's the least crazy thing on this list. What if I told you Ronaldo also owns something so expensive it requires 24-hour surveillance? By 2013, Ronaldo had already established himself as a global superstar. After winning the Ballon d'Or that year, the Portuguese government honored him by opening a CR7 museum. It's got his wax figures, his 5 Ballon d'Or, and a collection of trophies Ronaldo had won at CF Andorinha, Nacional de Madeira, Sporting CP, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, Al Nassr, and the Portugal national team. In the front of the museum is a bronze statue of Ronaldo that fans can take pictures with. But the most valuable item in the museum is 3 custom-made diamond-encrusted Nike boots made by designer T. Daniel. The first boot was modeled after his 2017 Ballon d'Or winning boots. The second boot paid homage to his time with Manchester United in the Premier League, and the third was dubbed the La Liga model, made in all-white diamonds to celebrate his achievements at Real Madrid. I swear, the only other athletes I've seen with diamonds on their feet are LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, and those cost them $4 million. Considering Ronaldo's boots look better, I guess it's a good thing they didn't disclose the price. But what if I told you Ronaldo owns an icy watch collection that costs more than your life?
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
when Ronaldo first signed for Manchester United, he was just a humble kid from Portugal who wanted to play football. But as the money and fame came, he knew he needed to step up his game, so he went out and got a Rolex Daytona in stainless steel to match his newly found status. But what started as a simple watch upgrade quickly became a very expensive obsession. After Juventus gave him the $117 million contract, he wanted to get something special to celebrate. So he got on the phone with his favorite jewelers to request one of the most expensive Rolex watches ever made. A $500,000 Rolex GMT2, completely iced out in 30-karat white gold and white diamonds, with each individual piece set by hand. But just when you thought he couldn't do more, he went out and got a $1.5 million Jacob & Co. tourbillon. This insane watch is covered with 232 baguette-cut white diamonds and 109 sapphires. Its dial is a miniature version of the Bugatti W16 engine of CR7's Chiron. The engine comes to life when you press a button, with 16 tiny pistons pumping up and down inside. Damn, just take a breather. 'Cause there's more. Ronaldo also owns a $2 million Frank Mueller shiny mystery. this bad boy is covered with baguette diamonds that display no visible mounting. He also owns a one-of-one $1 million Hubble Biaxis Gold King masterpiece with an 18-karat rose gold case. Its bezel is also iced out in diamonds and was created exclusively for CR7. But even a $10 million addiction is nothing compared to a wedding gift that cost $50 million.
Wow, what a number. Now I can say,
This story starts in the early 2000s when young Jorge Mendes started his career as a football agent. At just 30, Mendes, a failed semi-pro footballer in Portugal, decided to become a DJ to pay the bills. Then he expanded into a video shop owner and eventually a nightclub owner. But his life changed when Nuno Espirito Santo, a goalkeeper trying to breathe life into his career, became his first client. Nuno asked Mendes to help negotiate a move to Deportivo La Coruna the following year, and the glittering, albeit fledgling agent did just that. After tasting that early success, Mendes went into football agency and soon enough became the #1 agent in Portugal. But maybe his biggest break was when he negotiated the transfer of Cristiano Ronaldo from Sporting to Manchester United. Since then, he oversaw Ronaldo's transfers to Real Madrid and his subsequent $117 million deal at Juventus. He was the one who negotiated Ronaldo's return to Manchester United and the mind-blowing $200 million deal with Saudi club Al Nassr. Throughout Ronaldo's career, Mendes has consistently helped Ronaldo get the biggest bags, so it was no surprise Mendes chose Ronaldo to be his best man. In the build-up to the wedding, Ronaldo didn't want to get him a random gift like a car or a house or a helicopter. He wanted to give him something special. So he took a jet to Greece and got him a private island worth $50 million. $50 million. At this point, I could sacrifice anything to become Ronaldo's friend.
Spare change, ma'am.
But even this is only good enough for number 9. Wait till you see some of Ronaldo's exotic items that cost $100 million. But before we get there, we have to talk about the girl who has free access to all this wealth. When Ronaldo made his second return to Manchester United, he was immediately placed on a salary of £500,000 a week after tax. He knew that was too much money to spend alone, so he decided to splash the cash on the love of his life. You see, since he met Georgina at the Gucci store, Ronaldo has fallen in love harder than a ton of bricks. The two of them have been football's most popular couple, and even started a family together. So after he caught her commenting on an Instagram post from Cartier, he knew what the perfect gift would be. He slid into Cartier's DMs and ordered this diamond ring, which cost a whopping $872,000. It's by far the most expensive ring a footballer's ever bought. Georgina was so happy when she got the gift, she had to show it to the gram. And wow, it's obvious she appreciates Ronaldo behind the scenes, because lately she's been spotted rocking an 18-karat pink gold Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe 24, iced out Rolexes, diamond bracelets, all worth over $1 million. He also got her a $140,000 Louis Vuitton custom jewelry trunk taller than Ronaldo Jr. Georgina's jewelry collection is worth more than $4 million, which, quite frankly, is not outrageous for Ronaldo's girl. But whenever she's not wearing her diamonds, she's putting on bikinis on Ronaldo's $12 million purchase. After winning his second straight Serie A title, Ronaldo was in the mood to celebrate, so he spent $20 million on this. The yacht had 6 cabins, including a master suite, 4 doubles, and a twin cabin. It has a spacious jacuzzi on the sun deck and a fully equipped gym. The kitchen has a dedicated chef that can cook all local and international dishes you can think of. The yacht also comes with 3 jet skis, 2 sea bobs, a paddleboard, and snorkeling equipment. Wow, I don't blame his family for going on so many vacations. And speaking of vacations, Ronaldo and Georgina splashed $21 million so they could chill in the middle of the ocean. At 39 years old, Cristiano knows his days as a professional footballer are coming to an end. For a guy who earns over $100 million a year, you know his retirement plans will be jaw-dropping. Recently, Georgina gave a sneak peek at the holiday resort Ronaldo's building on Ummahat Island in the Red Sea. The structure in the videos look like they're straight out of a Star Wars movie, and she tagged it Building New Paradise. While filming around the property, she showed a glimpse of some of the rooms. They feature king-size beds and sun loungers, a swimming pool built into the sea, and a personal beach with gorgeous ocean views. To tell you how insane it is, it can only be accessed by a private chartered boat or seaplane off the coast of Saudi Arabia. A night at the resort costs upwards of $7,000, with Ronaldo saying that by staying there, he was close to heaven. But this isn't even their only crazy investment in the Middle East. Ronaldo and Georgina spent a whopping $21 million to buy space on an island off the coast of Dubai. It's called Jumeirah Island, and it's exclusive to the wealthiest and most powerful people in the world. Rumor has it, Ronaldo is reportedly planning to build a mansion on the island, with work due to be finished by the end of December. The island already has 15 luxury houses, which boast the most exclusive beaches in the region, entertainment clubs, a hotel, a yacht club, and a diving center. But to understand where his love for investment started, we gotta go back to the city of San Sebastian in Spain, where Ronaldo hatched a $200 million idea. Ronaldo and his teammates traveled to play a game against Real Sociedad and lodged at the Hotel de Londres. When he stepped into the place, it was love at first sight. But instead of just enjoying the luxury at his disposal, it inspired him to do something crazy. He contacted his investment manager and had him bring up designs for a CR7-themed hotel. Soon enough, his dream became a reality. Remember the museum in Funchal? Ronaldo had his boys build a hotel on top of the building. This ensured all his fans who visited got somewhere comfortable to stay. After that was completed and commissioned, he had them build more CR7 hotels in Lisbon, Paris, and New York. These hotels cost Ronaldo more than $200 million to build. And if Ronaldo's spending that much on where his fans live, you can imagine how much he spends on where he and his family stay. It all started in 2003 when Ronaldo signed his first big contract. After living in poverty his whole life, he wasn't about to get a small house, so he went out and got a 7,000 square foot mansion in the heart of Manchester. It had 6 rooms and bathrooms, a full-size gym, a movie theater, an indoor pool, and a jacuzzi. The house set him back $4 million at the time, but this was just the beginning of his spending spree. After signing for Real Madrid, he knew it was time for an upgrade, and this was the result.
Coming in, this is what I live. Let's go. I love this dog. You know why? Because it's always quiet. Cristiano play football. We have the nets there, is already there, and we create here the Christmas tree because soon.
Damn, if I had a house like this, I swear I'm never leaving. But this wasn't even his most impressive house. One time, while holidaying in the US, Ronaldo decided he was tired of spending hundreds of thousands on hotels, so he got on the phone with Donald Trump and bought an $18 million L-shaped apartment inside Trump Tower in New York. Now, this apartment only has 3 bedrooms and bathrooms, but you can literally see the whole city from up there. With the superstar now 39, though, he decided it was time to get a retirement home. So he returned to his native Portugal to build a $25 million house the size of a hospital. I mean, are we really surprised? The man makes over $500,000 a day. But when you hear what Ronaldo spends on his fans, it might make you cry. After winning his 3rd Ballon d'Or, Ronaldo was getting ready to host a big party to celebrate. But then he heard an alarming story. One of his biggest fans was suffering from a brain disorder, and Ronaldo knew he couldn't just let that tiny boy die, so he sent the family $100,000. That kind gesture saved the little man's life. It might look like a small gesture, but this boy's story opens up the truth about Ronaldo. The Portuguese maestro had been secretly paying people's medical bills all over the world. A few years after this incident, Ronaldo auctioned off his 5 Ballon d'Or and donated the entire sale amount to the Make-A-Wish Foundation to help kids with terminal illnesses. Considering each Ballon d'Or sold for more than $700,000, combined with the millions he's paid in people's medical bills, Ronaldo is a real-life superhero, and this kindness earned a spot in our top 3. But now that we're getting into our top 2, it's time to tighten your seatbelts, because we're taking things to a higher level, literally. Growing up, Ronaldo dreamt of driving the best cars in the world, so when he signed his first professional contract with Sporting, he bought himself a fast Audi, and that was the start of his $30 million fantasy. As he improved as a footballer, his car collection improved as well. I'm talking Lambos, Rolls-Royce, Bugattis, Bentleys, Mercedes. The list is just endless.
What you gonna do?
Turn a 10 piece to a 20 quick. I got money busting out the money clip.
But maybe his most expensive purchase was $12 million on an ultra-rare Bugatti 110.
Took the wife and Lazarette that speak at the spice, the color Murray, that's me. My advice off the order I seen. Christ alone, he don't promise you. Don't say that. You know that man don't pay that. Trying to stunt in your rentals. I too wanna cry at him.
This thing looks like it could take off at any moment. But traveling at 230 miles an hour, well, that's not fast enough for Ronaldo. So he spent $73 million more on the most expensive jet for any footballer ever. A custom Gulfstream G650 private jet, with its proud CR7 branding on the side. But what's even more insane is it's not his only private jet. Ronaldo also owns a Gulfstream G200, and as he calls it, his rainy day private jet. Man, I need to rethink my life. But now, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The most expensive thing Cristiano Ronaldo owns. When Nike began sponsoring Ronaldo in 2003, they had no idea the insane ride they were getting on. After all, he was just another talented footballer they needed to help sell their brand. But after winning his first Ballon d'Or, Nike realized they had a huge superstar on their hands. He then moved to Madrid, where his stock rose even more. And in order to secure the biggest superstar on earth, CR7 and Nike signed a sponsorship deal for life. That sounds insane, but by having this long-term agreement, Nike bet on the CR7 brand as an icon in the world of sports and football. It's similar to what they did with Michael Jordan, except the CR7 brand has no ceiling. As part of the deal, Ronaldo will earn a guaranteed $1 billion. When you factor in other commissions from future sales partnerships, the future for him is just ridiculous.
Maybe someone's don't like me, but because maybe I'm too good.
But listen, $50 million islands, $200 million hotels, $73 million private jets. Ronaldo might own some of the most ridiculous items in the world, but he isn't the only footballer making those weird purchases. I'm talking diamond-encrusted balls, roofless Ferraris. Click on the next video to see these stupidly expensive things that football players own.